All right. Let's do this. The last time on the wilds of Valandiir, the Crown Collectors had started what seemed to be a pretty awesome day. Had the free-for-all today. You guys did some last-minute planning. You guys had a pretty decent strategy. It all sort of, it was going pretty well. You guys kind of clumped together and worked together to kind of chew down this group. But before anybody really had a chance to put a major dent in it was thinning out. People were kind of taking each other out left and right. Something happened. There was a commotion at the corner of the stadium. A spectator, Lady Kethra, had seen her husband being taken down by a fellow competitor in this free-for-all, the end of the Ellington Classic. She attempted to intervene. She killed a dozen or so people and saved his life. And before anybody had really a chance to do much about it, she had turned Sir Luther against his fellow knights, his own brother. And as the two of them attempted to flee, they were surrounded. Everyone started to encroach upon her. That's when Lady Kethra's betrayal and true identity was revealed. She grew into a large, black-scaled black dragon and escaped with Sir Luther, leaving the stadium in chaos as the cultists of Lady Kethra, or Shekkis revealed, turned the audience into ribbons in this vicious kind of surprise bloodbath attack. You are all being surrounded by what you thought were competitors, and a few of them, maybe a dozen or so, they kind of smash something on their chest, this glowing jewel, and their illusion is dropped, and you see them all having this dark clothing aesthetic, very pale skin, and all of them have these nasty acid scars across their face. They begin drawing weapons, and all of them advancing on you. There are still a couple of competitors left out on the field. You guys had pretty much chewed down a good half to 3/4 of the total starting population of this free-for-all. And that's where we are going to pick up. I need everybody, really but Corey, to go ahead and roll a new initiative. And we're putting Corey up on top. So you can just, I guess, put like a 25 in your initiative roll if you wish. And let me move everybody over to the map. There we go. You see a vicious scene of, just strewn bodies and blood and new approaching adversaries. You look around, the stadium is just, it's a bloodbath. It's a catastrophe. It's a senseless violence strewn about this large coliseum. So, let's see here. Are these previous rolls, or is this new?
They look like previous rolls.
Okay, I'm gonna wipe it. So go ahead and everybody should do it.
20 is a new roll for me.
All right. I will head and put you back in and put you in 20. And Corey, like I said, if you want to throw yourself up at like 25 just so that you know you're first.
Okay. How do I enter in an initiative roll? Just roll the dice and...
But yeah, you can just, how you can manually like add a turn. That.
I don't think we have that option.
Oh.
I don't think so.
Well, then
yeah,
I
I
will do
can
it
add
for you.
myself.
I think that's a DM thing.
Okay. Well, where'd you go? Well, you're way over there.
Like we can roll it and then auto change it.
Oh boy.
Simba got a 16. I can't add him.
Gave Simba a new shiny new paint job. Let's see this lion.
Whoa, Simba's giant.
That's a big damn cat.
That's a big boy.
Yeah. So now you can use Chonky Boy again, Noah, if you wish.
Perfect.
All right, Axton, DeBatties, this new paladin guy, and Simba. We need Baranor. So Noah, you're playing for him, right?
Baranor, yes. Hang on, let me...
Okay. I'm gonna add you both.
Yeah, I need...
Just input your... Yeah, I think I gave you permission.
It's not saying it on my screen. I just have access to Koza, Chonky Boy, and my spiritual weapon.
Bunch of baloney. Gave you permission.
Let me try refreshing it. Yeah, no, still nothing.
Alright, give me a second.
No worries.
So, let's see here. Oh, they changed a bunch of stuff in Roll20.
Of course.
Did. I don't know.
I told you, it looks like they updated Roll20.
I know, I noticed it too. Here we go. Must have erased my edits that I did last week, or this week. Okay. Give me 1 second. Alright, can you move it now?
Yes, I can.
Hey.
There we go. There's his character sheet.
Okay. So,
Let me roll initiative for him.
oh, I have 2 of these. Go. And Cozy, you need to get on the board too.
Alright. Let me roll for Koza.
You're not. I don't think you're on the board. Hold on.
Yeah, I am. I'm above Baranor.
Yeah, but you didn't have an initiative.
Oh, okay. Here, I'll just roll that.
All right.
got a-
Unless you're beating a 25, I doubt. You all see this this tall, armored individual. Corey, if you'd like to describe what the players see in the midst of this battle, where you see a wave of these dark-skinned warriors advancing on your position between you and the crown collectors.
Gotcha. You see before you a gentleman who looks young adult, maybe 25 to 30. He's about 6'2", 6'3", features incredibly chiseled in their appearance. Yellow sandstone skin, a few veins of bronze running through along a temple there. His eyes are purple and slightly iridescent in their appearance. He is wearing a glimmering bronze appearing set of armor with a prominent image of the platinum dragon embossed in the breastplate. He is also carrying a long sword and a shield with the platinum dragon also embossed, and a very large buster appearing sword on his back.
Ooh.
All right. Ori, as you ready your stance, you see this guy right here. He's just going to run up to you and stop. You are officially first.
All right.
I'll just descend everything. Hey, what would you like your character to do? It's your turn.
All right. Right now, he is just going to tag the son of a gun with his long sword.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Oh, did it? Yeah, oh, shoot. Roll20 didn't convert over.
Oh.
Let me double check to make sure I got it. Well, let me do it from here then. Budge.
D&D. 1 D&D. 1 D.
I know. I can't wait.
They're gonna have like 3D maps and stuff. Like
I
it's gonna
know. It's gonna be so much better than this.
All right, so 19 to hit.
A 19 does hit. You've got that at advantage, I see, but I'll take that 19.
Yeah, that's the first one, 19.
Uh-huh.
And so we'll do... No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted damage.
I'm loving this music.
This was meant to be the Shekkis reveal music. But Fredboat went and abandoned me.
Yep.
It hard to do what I wanted.
So for 4 points of damage,
Okay.
I'm also gonna pump a divine smite in.
Okay.
Let me see. This is my first time playing a character like this before, so you'll have to bear with me. So there's my attacks, my actions. How do I pump a divine smite in there? Divine smite. I'm going to expend 1 spell slot to do... I'm going to expend a first level spot. So an 8 additional points of radiant damage.
Okay.
And are they undead at all? Or fiends?
No.
Okay. I'll tag him with
They
that.
are humanoids.
They are humanoids. Okay. And so
this guy is.
This guy is. Okay. And then I will just yell out, citizens of Valandiir, repel the invaders.
All right. As you stab this creature with your long sword, this pulse of silvery gossamer energy just
I couldn't hear it.
first your hair and your eye.
I couldn't hear a darn thing you just said.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you just sounded garbled for a second.
Oh, okay, great. As you pierce this creature with your sword, this pulse of silvery gossamer light erupts from the edges of your armor and down your arms through the sword into this creature, and you see almost like a shotgun blast out the back of its back. Just a spray of blood and viscera just kind of creates this hole in the back of his armor. Kind of grimaces and pulls these two large hand axes at his side. Alrighty. Next up is so what happens is, as soon as he takes this damage, he's going to bury both of these axes, completely leaving his midsection open and stuff. He's just kind of raging against you and buries two heads of these axes right in either pauldron on your armor. One is very, very low, glancing off of the pauldron without even leaving a scratch. It seems he was more intent on the other one because the other one's a 23.
Okay.
He leans into this attack and does 11 points of slashing damage as this axe literally clips in between the armor plates, and you feel it kind of slice open your neck muscle.
Ow.
This guy here is going to advance right here on Koza, and he is going to stay 10 feet away. And you see him pull this chain out of his right waistband with these long blade razors on the edge, and he just starts swinging this chain above his head and swats it at you. And does a 14 hit you?
A 14, I believe, hits me. Let me check. Yes, it does.
That is going to be 9 plus... That's going to be 14 points of slashing damage as this razor-lined chain whips across your body and just slashes you across the chest.
That is exactly the amount of hit points I had, so I am out.
All right. Koza is down.
I got a feeling that's going to be all of us in just a minute.
Yeah,
Okay.
we need to go.
We haven't healed. So.
You know what? I forgot to add other people to the turn order. That guard is also down here with you, by the way, as are the other contestants. Yeah, that's going to be pretty good. Simba says 0.
How many points of damage was that?
To you, that was 11.
No, to Koza.
14.
14?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. So right over here, Axton, you see this large hulking guy in like these tight leather-bound leather armor, sort of belts all over his body. He's got this huge glaive with sort of this black, ichor-y, slimy edge on it. It looks like it's dipped in something before he started using it, and he is standing straight over a prone Goromir Bloom, who is right here, and he's gonna stab straight down, and you see Goromir looking ready to deflect it with his knife. Looks like he's reaching up with it kind of in a backwards grip. He's gonna try to deflect it as best he can, but this guy comes down hard. That's a natural 20. Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh no. All right, yeah, that's gonna be 12 points of damage. Goromir Bloom, you see him sort of go limp, and both of his arms kind of fall to his side as this guy buries this glaive in his stomach. And he pulls it up, and this guy looks right at you, Axton, and he dashes, bam, right here. And he looks right at you, and you see him kind of cock his head like, I thought I just killed you. And he's going to do the same. He's going to bury his...
Well, as soon as he gets like within 5 or 10 feet of me, and he moves another 5 feet, I get an attack of opportunity.
Okay. So he missed you horribly. He got an 8 on his attack. So he's going to land. He's going to plant his feet, and just as he sees you, kind of reaching forward with your halberd, he's going to try to swipe, and you're able to kind of move right by it and make your attack.
Yeah, that's going to be a miss.
Yeah, so you two are kind of locked. You have your weapons locked into each other. He kind of pulls you close, and you at a glance, you just barely catch sight of Gormir, who is currently bleeding out on the battlefield. And this guy he just glares right at you like, I'm going to do the same to you. Let's see here. The Black Guard here, you see this guy down here slay this individual right here. He goes down. So he's going to move up here and engage this ranger type and just start burying his spear into him. And you see this kind of all over the battlefield. Right here you see that large minotaur that entered in the free-for-all. He's kind of cut up. It looks like he's taken some damage during the competition, but he is wildly swinging this huge sword that looks like it was made for a giant or an ogre. Wildly swinging it. He literally decapitates this guy and this guy in one fell swoop. Boom, they fall, bleeding out of their neck. The other two take a couple of glances from the sword, but we're going to go to You see all of this happening. A couple of your teammates are down. Your lion is kind of looking around, trying to figure out what to do next. What do you want to do?
All right. I'm going to telekinetically pull Luna closer to us.
Okay. She does not resist, although it's a bit jarring for her, and she kind of growls at you when she lands.
And then I'm going to cast Wall of Fire.
Okay.
As a ring around us.
Okay.
20-foot diameter circle.
You want me to do that?
Yeah, and I want the outer edges to split in between the Paladin and the guy with the 2 axes.
Got it.
So he's going to end up on the outside.
How's that?
That works for me.
Okay.
So he is going to have to take a Dex saving throw.
That's a brutal failure.
So he is going to take 27 points of fire damage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's going to hurt.
And anyone that else happens to be around 5 foot of the perimeter is also going to have to make that save in case there's any enemies like up in the stands or anything.
Yep.
I'm
going to say that this guy was right here. Does that count if he's touching the corner? Yep. I think it does. Okay,
that's within 5 foot.
All right, that's pretty high. He kind of saw you working from above, and he sees this wall of fire erupt, and he kind of does like a mini backflip and gets out of the way. It does singe him a little bit. So, yeah, he got a 22.
Yep, so he still takes half.
Yep. Yeah, he kind of flips out of the way, and it kind of glances his midsection as he kind of makes this acrobatic movement away.
So that's it for my turn.
Okay.
Now we are protected, and weapons cannot pass through it. If a person wants to pass through it, they have to walk into it and make another dex save.
I would say arrows can go through it, correct?
Yes, but it's opaque, so they would have disadvantage.
Understood. It's what, 10 feet tall?
20 feet, because I did it as a ring.
Cool. It's almost a dome, really, because the flames are sort of leading into the group, and it's giving you guys this bright, almost like a sun, glowing kind of tapered cylinder, or almost a dome shape at the top of this glowing fire. It catches this guy, and it singes the front of his leathers as he flips away. It is Baranor's turn with Simba on deck.
All right. Baranor is going to... Oh, boy. Baranor is going to cast Zephyr Strike.
All right.
And he's going to shoot... let's see, what kind of... Do I have any special arrows? I don't think so.
I would urge Baranor to reconsider that. because the wall of fire is opaque, which means he can't see through it either.
Oh, okay. Well, then, in that case...
So if he could heal someone,
yeah,
that would probably be
he's gonna cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level on Koza.
Okay.
So that is a D8 plus... What's his wisdom? Plus 3. So that's 11 points of healing for Koza.
Koza pops up.
I mean, what can we do at this point, fellas?
Well, that was your action.
The peanut.
So I saw who was outside of the ring before put it up, right? Like what I've seen this guy? Hang on.
You mean that guy on the south?
Oh, that guy? Yeah, he's the one who hit you with the chain.
Yeah, okay.
Hit your buddy with the chain.
So I'll take disadvantage if I shoot that guy.
If you shoot, do you get 2 attacks, or do you get another attack if your first action is an attack?
I'm not sure. I've never played Rangers before. Hang on, let me pull up their page.
If he just gets 2 attacks, then yeah.
I think he does just get 2 attacks, but let me make sure.
All right.
Yeah, he gets an extra attack.
Cool.
So I'm gonna shoot that guy with my gardener's bow.
Okay. He's gonna take I believe a dex save and not do too well at all.
Okay. Don't know why why that did it twice. It has it set to normal. I think those are both of his attacks. Yeah. And then I don't think I can do anything else. So that's gonna end my turn.
Okay. What is Simba doing in the midst of all of this chaos?
Simba is doing nothing.
Simba is going to sit down and literally protect everybody. Would you like him to hold an action? Like, you could hold an action if he wants to wait until someone gets within melee range in this round, and then he can make an attack. You can hold that action.
I'm going to have Simba hold a claw attack if somebody comes through wall.
Gotcha. All right, Axton, it's your turn. You see this happen before you, and this guy lands right in front of you. You guys kind of clashed blades. You're both holding pole arms, and you're kind of seeing who's got the better grip. And you kind of see an opportunity to sort of knock him loose and take a swipe at him, or whatever you'd like to do. It is your turn.
There we go. 21 to hit.
That totally hits.
Great. And I will make that one a menacing attack.
All right, that's a wisdom save. That's a 14.
He fails.
He fails. This guy is now frightened of you.
Until the end of my next turn, I believe.
Okay, do I have to immediately run away or not?
No. On his turn, as long as I'm within sight of him, he has disadvantage on all of his attacks, but he cannot move any closer to me.
Any closer and he'd have to buy you dinner.
Exactly.
All right.
And then I will make another attack.
You've stunned him. He's looks startled, spooked.
20 to hit and 14 damage.
That hits. 14 slashing damage. Your halberd just sort of carves into his right under his clavicle, into his armpit area. You just sort of see him wince as this blood sprays from his wound.
And then I will again go into my bonus action, tunnel defense.
Right on. All right, the Black Guard start to close in. Right about here is where you see Sir Thorsten being lifted. Let me see if I can duplicate these guys a little bit. I guess not. Oh, yes, I can. All right. Yeah, these guys here are dragging Thorsten in this direction. One of the contestants comes over and looks like he kind of sheathes these daggers of his on his belt, and he also looks like he's trying to help them. But this guy right here, he manages to land kind of a glance, not quite a glancing, but just sort of a weak hit on the Minotaur until you see and he's got this a similar like pole arm, until you see the Minotaur sort of stumble a little bit, and this gush of blood comes out from under his armor plating. You see his arm just immediately, just a fountain cascade of blood comes out of his arm, as if this enemy over here had hit something rather vital in his arm. But he doesn't seem to drop. He just kind of stumbles a little bit, and his arm is now deep red as he trickles on the ground. Koza, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to cast... Let's see. Do I have any AoE healing spells? I don't think so.
I think you asked this last week and you found out that you do not. That's what you tried to do as soon as you showed up.
I think the only healing spell at this level would be like Healing Prayer, and it takes like an hour to cast.
Yeah. Wait, I think I have something with my cleric ability. Oh, wait, hang on. I think I do have something. Okay, I cast Aura of Vitality, and that's within 30 feet of me. So I'm gonna cast that, and then until the spell ends, the aura moves with me, and I can use a bonus action to cause one creature in the aura to regain 2d6 hit points. So I'm gonna give.
How far away?
30 feet.
Yeah, you're good. You could actually give it to Gormir if you wanted to as well.
Fuck that guy. I'm gonna give it to...
Tree Hugger's got an edge.
I'm gonna give it to Yuno for this turn.
Alright. And then you all have a +4 to, it looks like, saving throws within 10 feet of this paladin. Should be everyone.
2d6 plus what?
It's just 2d6.
Hold on. Your wall of fire, is it also between these two? Because if so, I have to make a saving throw for him. Unless he's inside the wall of fire.
No, he's inside the wall of fire.
Okay. Alright. Is that going to be it for Koza, or do you have a bonus thing you want to do?
No, that's really all I can do.
Alright. The Duke's son, who you had seen previous, he is already tangled with this guy in front of him. Now you see this wall of flame between you. What would you like to do?
Who are you referring to, me?
the Paladin Duke's son guy.
Okay, my guy. Okay, good. All right, I am going to turn towards the guy I can see now and give him 2 what-fors with my sword.
All right.
13.
13 does not hit.
All right, second swing. Rolling shite so far. 12.
Yeah, it got real bright here, and you have pretty decent eyes, and you also turn in this direction and see way over here. I don't know if you guys are zoomed out enough, but the lower left of the map, you see your father, this large bronze dragon, splayed out, gripping the sides of the stadium as his wing is like, it has melted through, all the way through, and you've never seen your father this hurt before. It alarms you, just enough to where when you go to attack this guy, you're distracted and you miss him.
All right. For my bonus action, I'm going to look to all of these gathered here. I'm going to say, Crown Collectors, let us band together and rid this arena of all who stand against us. And I'm going to use my Channel Divinity to turn the tide, which means each friendly creature here, I'm choosing everybody, including the 2 animals. Everybody gets 1d6 plus 4 hit points if it has no more than half its max HP.
Which I'm guessing is not everybody.
So if anybody is less than max their half, less than 50%, they'll get 5 more points.
Oh, cool. All right.
So as long as I'm
Jump.
less than half health, I get 5 points. Is that right?
Right.
Yeah, if you're under 50% health, you'll get 5 points.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah. So if I was at 7, I get 5 hit points. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
correct. You are healed for 5 hits.
I was looking.
You see this guy up here leap onto this ranger over here and start hacking away. The ranger doesn't have any weapons to deflect. He ends up taking a couple of really nasty, gnarly attacks, and he goes down. He slumps to his side, and the blackguard kind of makes his way over here and gets right here. He stays 5 feet away, but he stands right next to this guy and readies another attack. And as he does this, you see this tall, heavily armored individual with swinging this chain. He looks down and goes to swing at him with the chain. It's cocked. That's an 18. That does hit him. And he's gonna do. You see him slice down into this blackguard, and a spray of blood hits the sand next to him. He is going to. He's gonna blindly swing that chain. So he's gonna do it at disadvantage and try and hit Koza once again. But that's still gonna be a 15.
Yeah, that hits.
So that you're going to lose another 7 points of slashing damage from this guy as this chain just relentlessly hacks down at you. This guy down here, he is going to make an acrobatics check. And that's really good. That's a 19. He is actually going to jump through the wall of fire and land kind of in between you guys. I'm going to leave him where he is, but he's going to basically be right here. So he's going to go ahead and take your half of that wall damage.
Full is 29.
Wow. That would be what? That would be 14?
And
good.
Simba's also going to attack him. His held action.
He leaps into this group, and a look of shock across his face as he reels from the burning of the flames to just lion claws and teeth.
Well, don't get all 4 of those folks get an opportunity attack?
I think that, I don't know about all 4. Does Luna get one?
No, did you put him down here? Put him down here in between Simba, Barry, Axton, don't all 4 of those guys get an opportunity attack?
You don't get a reactionary opportunity attack. That's more of a fighter thing.
Yeah, so I'll get one.
Okay.
He'll get one, and I don't know, does Luna... I don't think Luna has a reactionary thing. She has pack tactics, so she can have advantage, but I don't think she gets that kind of thing.
No.
Simba got 22 to hit.
Oh, man, I just right across the jaw.
And, let's see... Said claw 1. Or... 7 points of slashing damage.
Okay, that's her first attack.
Well, no, that was just the held action.
Yeah, she gets 2 attacks, doesn't she?
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, he gets 2 attacks. Those were all held on the same action. This is not an opportunity attack. He was holding his action, so go ahead and roll your bite.
Okay, so that's 17, but he has advantage because pack tactics. Nat 20!
Yeah!
All right, so go ahead and roll your damage. While you do that, Axton, as this guy lands in the middle of your group, you think in your head as you're dealing with this guy next to you is, oh my god, they're falling out of the sky, and you actually kind of bury your halberd into his hip and kind of pin him to the ground just as this lion leaps onto his face. So why don't you go ahead and roll your attack and see if you damage him while Ken gets the damage.
So he's gonna take 12 points of bite damage.
Okay. All right, that is a hit from Axton. So you all just kind of leap on him at once as Baranor just sort of spins around like, what? And at this point, you don't even really see this yet at first. You have just enough time to see this brown leathered blur land in the middle of you just as your lion and Axton just kind of chop and slash it. This guy just immediately stops moving and bleeds out of like 5 different wounds on its body. He is Dunskies. All right. It looks like it's starting to calm down. The Black Guard are starting to overwhelm these people. This guy right here, you see him kind of looks like he wants to, he's looking left and right, almost like he wants to escape or maybe move to a different part of the arena. He starts to move away, but before he does, he's going to point right at the wall here, and he is going to, you see this ethereal magic leave his hand, and it attempts to, you see the wall of fire start to phase in and out. I just got a natural 20 on his dispel.
Oh boy.
Because I'm aware that this is a higher level wall, so it's probably going to be level 5, right? Or 4?
It's level 4.
Yeah, so he got a natural 20. But he dispels your wall of fire. It goes down. And I don't know if it will let me remove it, because I ran into this freaking last time where it didn't want me to remove it. So that is what he does, and then he bolts away as fast as he can. Unfortunately, he bolts right into, and I don't have all of this populated up there, but, you know, he bolts, and on the other side of him are like 3 or 4 contenders who were in the middle of all this, and 5 or 6 Black Guard that have descended down from the stands. So you see him just run straight at these people and then kind of stop. Okay. All right. Is Yuno's turn. You see your wall drop, and this guy start to get away as he approaches the encroaching wall of people he's running towards. What would you like to do?
Put a cap in his ass.
Yeah, Yuno's gonna do exactly that. So
With old reliable.
yeah, Yuno's pretty pissed. So
But this guy is where the wall of people are advancing, and this is literally where he's at right here. Actually, he's a little further away.
so where's the people?
Up here, you see that there are advancing Black Guard and cooperative contenders that are sort of mopping up these guys. As now it's easy to identify who the bad guys are because they all drop their illusions. And so up here is just like maybe a dozen or so people spread out from over here to...
Yeah, he's gonna want to make a dex saving throw.
All right. That's a 9.
So he's gonna
Very
fail,
dangerous.
and a fireball literally explodes right on fucking top of him.
Right on
That's-
the wizard.
And that's gonna be 37 points of fire damage.
Whoa!
37. Yeah, he looks like he's already been hit. He's got some cuts on his face. Maybe he was involved in the free-for-all and was taking damage. But the fireball just kind of blasts his clothes, and these streaks of scorching flesh across his body. But he drops to one knee. He looks really, really hurt, but he is like actively putting out flames on his clothes, just as it looks like the soldiers are kind of gaining on him. That's a hit, big time.
And as a bonus action, I'm going to shove this dude.
Okay, that's a 16.
So he passes. He goes
Doesn't
nowhere.
go anywhere. He is kind of planted, and his weapon is kind of interlocked with Axton's at this point. Or it was briefly, so he's kind of in for it. It's Baranor's turn, and the lion, Simba, is going to go next. What's Baranor
Okay.
doing?
Baranor is.
Don't forget to have Luna go after you, too.
Yeah, okay. Let me pull up some wolf stats then. Okay. So Baranor is going to cast Zephyr Strike on himself
Okay?
and shoot this guy right here
Okay?
in the face.
In the face.
Boop. So I get advantage. Does an 18 hit?
Does.
Alrighty.
Wow.
I'm not sure why it's rolling it twice.
20, though, that'll hit.
Why won't it let me roll the damage?
You gotta click on the word Gardener's Bow. in the chat.
Ah, okay, I see.
So which of these is real?
The first one.
It's the first one, okay. Wasted some good high rolls there.
I know.
Alright. 11 piercing. 11 piercing. Is that 2d8 or 1d8?
That's 1d8.
Alright, so I'll take the 11. Alright, yeah, you kind of pin his foot right to the floor as one of your arrows sails harmlessly between Axton and Simba straight into this guy's leg and out the other side and into the sand.
And then for my second attack, I'm going to attack this armory dude.
Alright.
That's by Koza. Does a 25 hit.
Well, it would be like a first one, right? 19? That's what I would take, is the 19. Unless you have advantage, right?
Yeah, I still have Zephyr Strike.
Oh. Of course 25 hits.
Okay.
We're fucked.
Yeah, my bad. Alright.
Not sure why it's rolling twice again.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to, like I said, roll 20. Woohoo!
We'll just take the first one, I guess.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, he's still up, but your arrow just kind of catches in between the plates in his kind of abdomen armor. He is fully armored, by the way. He's got like a full set of armor.
Okay. And then for Luna's turn, she's going to... Hang on. She's going to go over to this guy. It won't let me move her. She's going to attack this guy. If you want to move her. Thank you. Okay, so her bite has a +4 to hit. So this +4. Stop rolling with advantage. I didn't ask for that. Anyway, it's 2 natural ones, so they don't hit.
Oh no.
I don't understand why it's rolling with advantage.
Yeah, we'll fix it. Don't worry. Maybe we'll look at it at the break.
Okay.
All right. You should have control of... I'm going to get rid of this icon and put her in properly. You should have control of her now.
Okay.
Oh, what did I do? Did I get rid of the wrong dude?
No, yeah, you got rid of...
I got rid of the bad guy.
Yeah, you got rid of the bad guy. He must be dead then.
He is not. Let me put him back. Unfortunately. We'll call it this dude. Okie doke. Simba.
Simba is going to swipe at this dude.
Okay.
The claw.
Remember who you are.
And Simba does not hit with the claw, so he is going to try to bite. Oh, no, wait, hold on. He gets advantage because of pack tactics. So going back. So the claw, that's going to be 22.
Hits. Pinned too. I would have given you advantage because he's pinned.
So then
I'll give Axton an advantage though.
13 points of slashing.
Alright, yeah, you catch a nasty, like you almost like the claw gets stuck in the shoulder meat and then rips through, and it just starts spilling blood out of this massive wound.
And then why is D&D Beyond stupid?
All websites are stupid. All
Yeah.
websites.
So 18 or 23. So Simba hits with the bite.
Yeah.
That's gonna be another 13 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, alright. I mean, Simba slashes and then goes in for the bite, catches him in the throat, and this guy slumps as more blood just pours.
Heels
out
over
of his
dead.
body. Now, hold on, let me do this right.
Come on.
Yeah, so the Simba is now leapt on top of this guy. Do you want Simba to take a bite and, you know...
Munch on him a little?
Simba's gonna have a snack. He's hungry.
Alright, you guys, to Giovanni and Axton's sort of horror, you see the lion rip his throat out, just start chewing and swallowing.
Nice.
Just covering his face in blood.
Hey man, that's nature.
Axton, you're up next. Does anybody know what's up with this shape here?
I don't know.
No, none.
I would.
Wasn't there a
accidentally
guy that was right
drew it.
here?
Is that where he was?
Yeah,
Right here? Yeah,
he was. Yeah, he was down there.
And then Luna's right there. Okay.
The shape was an accident that I can't.
Okay.
There we go.
No.
That's still technically within my range, but doesn't matter. I'm going to move around him now to give me advantage.
Okay. No problem. You actually could have stayed here, just saying. You could have stayed right here and had advantage, but you do you.
Oh yeah, that might be better.
Just saying.
Advantage, halberd. 26 to hit,
Sure.
11 damage.
11. All right. He's taken some hits. This one here with your halberd, you kind of catch it behind his leg and pull his leg out and kind of knock him off balance. And as he tries to deflect your halberd, you bring it down right down on his chest and cave in his... He's got kind of like a breastplate, and you just cave it in and pierce down about an inch or two, and you see blood on the edge of your axe. You pull it out. He's not prone, but he is not happy.
Okay, I'll make a second attack.
All right.
Dirty 20
Yep.
for 13 damage.
13, yeah. We're going to call it all the same attack. You just sort of slam your axe down and just kind of sink it further down in this wound as he falls on his back, and you see him and like blood spurtles out of his lips, and he falls down prone, bleeding out.
I'll go into my tunnel defense, but is it possible that I can pick up this guy's halberd as well?
It's not really a halberd; it's a glaive, and it looks like it's got some black oil on the edge of it.
Yeah, I was wondering if I can pick that one up as well.
Yes.
Cool. I'll pick it up.
I'm gonna make an action like that. That's gonna have to cost your bonus action.
What? Picking up a weapon is normally a free action.
Yeah, but switching one is a little more than that.
Fine, I will use my normal bonus action.
Okay. I'll tell you what, I'll meet you halfway. You can drop your weapon, and then on your the start of your first turn, say you can use a reaction to pick it up.
No, that's fine.
All right. Okay. The Black Guard, this guy right here, moves around him here, and he's going to attack this armored individual. Pretty good. That's a 23. All right, so you see him stab this tall armored guy right through the shoulder, and the spear comes out the other side, and he yanks it free. They're really starting to make some headway. These guys here are moving away, and they're being also assisted by this guy who's going to kind of help with Sir Thorsten and protect the caravan as it backs up. This guy's getting into a scuffle. Where is he? There he is. Is just sort of surrounding this Black Guard, but the Black Guard is kind of keeping them both at bay. It is Koza's turn next. You're starting to see the stands, by the way, Koza. The audience is being purged of these attackers. They're being kind of ganged up on as more and more Black Guard flood into it. It looks like maybe the whole City Watch has been called and is starting to really pick apart this onslaught force.
Okay, before I do anything, do I see a definitive exit to the arena?
Yes. You see that this gate here is wide open, and if you zoom all the way out, this here is the entrance to the streets here, and this door has actually been pried open by the Black Guard as they all entered quickly. So there's about 5 feet of clearance over here where you could escape. So down on the south side of the map and the west.
Okay.
Exit. The wall that separates you from the audience, because they're seated quite high, is about 30 feet tall. So escaping in that way is probably not more like 15, 20. But it's a high jump to get out off of to the steps.
Okay, so I'm gonna shout to the rest of the group, guys, as soon as we get a chance, we need to run. We need to get out of here. and then I'm going to moonbeam this asshole. She needs to make a con save.
Oh, that's not good. That's a 13.
That fails, I think. Hang on. Yeah, that barely fails. So he's going to take the full force of this. Okay, he's going to take 2d10 radiant damage to the face.
The face.
So he takes 7 right to the face, and then every time he starts his turn there, he has to make another con save.
Okay, let me do a thingy. We'll make it moon-colored.
And then for my bonus action, I'm gonna give Baranor. Hang on, let me see how much is
Baron taking a nap?
Was he taking a nap? Why do you say that?
Well, is that him like to the right of Simba down, or is that a bad?
Yeah.
Oh, that was bad guy, but I accidentally clicked on Baranor.
Oh.
Yeah, bad guy's dead.
Okay, cool.
He's right here. He's right here.
Okay, cool.
We'll put him right there. Dead.
How is everybody doing?
The bodies.
Who's hurting real bad?
I'm 1/5 of my health.
Oh boy.
Okay. Are you within 30 feet of me? Yes, you are.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You still have that aura of vitality up?
Yeah, it lasts a minute. Oh, wait, no, I lose it because it's concentration. Damn it.
What, did you cast another concentration spell?
Yeah, I cast Moonbeam, and that's also concentration.
Okay.
Alright, in that case, I'm gonna give, Axton 3d6 health? Points of health? Hang on. Yeah. So you get to roll 3d6 and then add that to your health, and you also get 3 temporary hit points.
Ooh, 3 temporary?
Yeah, because my druid ability lets me give people a font of health, and for every die I give them, they get a temporary hit point.
You want me to roll 3d6?
If you feel like it, or I can roll it, it's up to you.
Those are some low rolls.
Oh no.
Welcome to my world today.
Well, that brings me up to 17 hit points, plus an additional 3 temporary, so that's 1 to 2 good attacks. Every little bit helps.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you muchly.
And then I can't really go around everybody. I'm gonna start making my way.
Come on, way.
Making my way out.
Takes everything you got.
I'm gonna start running towards the exit down here.
Okay.
But Luna's in the
Koza's
way.
booking it, y'all.
I am leaving.
Which way did you go? I didn't even actually see.
This way.
Hold on, I'm zoomed way out.
I'm
You only
going
got 10 feet of
going
movement?
down.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
Moved what? 3 feet?
You moved 10
3
feet.
squares?
I moved 2 squares because Luna's in the way.
You can share space with her.
Okay. Well,
You
if
can also share space with dead things.
if I can share space with her, then I'm just gonna go right through her and go. Hang on. That's 10, so I can go.
Where did you start? Did you start
I started over. Hang on. I started right here.
1 square above Baron.
What's your speed that you're using?
30 feet.
You could make it all the way down here.
Alright. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I am
Moses.
getting the fuck out.
He is out. You are entering the space of a scuffle between 3 people, a black guard and 2 cultists, to your kind of 1 o'clock if you were facing that way.
Well, it's a good thing I am not going that way.
All right. Giovanni, it's your turn.
All right. I look to the rest of the group and I'm like, protect Sir Thorsten, save Goromir, defend the city of Dainne, and I am going to go forward I am going to maneuver over this way so that I'm flanking. And I am going to get my 2 longsword. Actually, I'm going to drop sword and shield, draw my buster.
You see the paladin cast his shield aside and his sword hits the ground, and from behind his back he pulls this huge wide-bladed it's kind of sort of a plain-looking single-edge blade with 3 of these large holes drilled through the middle of it, and you see him just sort of ready it.
21.
21, yeah, you kind of cleave him right in twain. Roll your damage.
10 points of damage.
Yeah, go ahead and describe this guy's death. He gets cleaved in half.
All right. So as he comes up from behind him, because he's facing that blackguard, he's got the moonbeam going down on him. His eyes just kind of have more intense iridescent glow. Just drops sword and shield, drops that big, and then just proceeds to just come down across his shoulder blade like he's just hacking a ham hock.
He falls. As he does, you can see through the light of the moonbeam, radiating between you and the blackguard. The blackguard just kind of gives you a look like, well done, and he actually turns he gives you a nod and acknowledgement and turns in this direction, and he looks like he's going to dart for this Minotaur and assist him.
So I used 15 feet of my movement, so I'm going to use my other 15 feet to kind of go along with him. Okay.
You know what? He went too far. There. All right. Gonna end your turn, bud.
That does.
All right, you're up. Baranor is next.
Let's see, who's still around? 1 enemies, 2 we see.
There's a couple of living folks here. This guy's dead. He's gone. There's some. There's some guys over here too. There's a guy in the stands. It looks like he's actually running away from a couple of blackguard that are chasing him in between people that are starting to escape. It looks like the stands are actually finally getting cleared out. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of people. There's some injured people that are crawling away.
I'm gonna shoot this dude right in the ass with a firebolt.
Okay. Yeah, he's running away from you. And it looks like he's trying to ascend the steps for some reason.
23?
Desperate. 23 hits.
And 19 points of fire damage.
Alright. It looks like he hasn't been hit by anybody. So he takes that right in the back. It kind of knocks him forward a couple of feet. And his back is singed, but he just keeps on running away.
And I'm going to telekinetically grab his ass and pull him 5 foot backwards. Down the steps so he breaks his neck.
Yes.
Strength. It doesn't matter. It was very, very low. So he's going to fall, and just because it's fun, I'm going to have you go ahead and roll 1d10 bludgeoning damage, because you just grab him and yank him down, and he falls ass over tea kettle down these. They're not really steps. They're actually really large steps. They're about the same size as at Stonehelm Keep. Those steps up through the tunnel. What'd you say? A 5? Yeah, 5. Yeah. He doesn't quite break his neck, but he just lands on the edge of one of the steps hard, and you hear him, ah! He's about 20 feet away from the ground, up in the air, just kind of hanging off the edge, just for the moment.
And that'll end my turn.
All right. Baranor, and then Simba. Baranor, you're up.
Yoo-hoo. Oh, sorry.
I said Baranor. Mr. Baranor.
Baranor is going to. Let's see. Do I have anything that can assist me in getting the fuck out?
There are plenty of people to shoot.
Yeah, you can shoot and then use all your movement.
Yeah, I'm gonna
move through
this guy. Hang on. How's this guy looking?
Which guy?
This guy up against the wall right here.
I mean, he just fell down the stairs, so he's not looking so hot.
All right.
He's not like bleeding out of.
As I'm making a mad. How far can I get?
You can get to right here.
Okay. As I'm making a mad dash to right there, about right there, I'm gonna shoot him in his chest.
All right. Yeah, he is kind of laid out.
I believe Zephyr Strike is still up, unless that's gone down. How long does that last? It's up to a minute.
Damage.
It's up to a minute.
You're still up.
All right, so I'm gonna shoot him in the face or the chest. Right. Try and pin him to the wall. Come on, roll 20. Stop doing this. Stop being stupid. Stop rolling with it, Jesus.
Well, the first one hits for sure.
Ugh.
You want to use
Hang on, I'm having technical difficulties. Roll 20 is being stupid.
Well, don't click it more than once. That's where you're running into it.
I'm not clicking it. I'm only clicking it once, and it's still doing it.
Yeah.
Plus, like the chat's acting weird, and it's like making it its own like sub window, and it's making it really inconvenient.
Well, you hit with that first one, and if you count that second one, because he's got 2 attacks, that also hit.
Okay.
17 hits this guy. So if you want to just roll damage twice.
Okay, there's 10.
Okay.
Plus 8, so 18 points of damage total.
Yeah, I mean, your arrow, it doesn't pin him to the wall because it's metal versus stone, but you do kind of shot right through his heart. He kind of looks up just in time to see you running past, like, what the fuck? And he just, like, instantly stops his heart. He is down.
Oh, okay. And then Luna's gonna come with me. Skip over Goromir, because, again, fuck that guy.
Goromir is bleeding out. He has lost 2 death saves, just saying.
Let's see. On her way, Luna's gonna stop and attack this guy right here.
Okay.
That is a +4 to hit. Does a 16 hit?
No.
Alright. Well, she's gonna keep going then.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
That's all I can really do.
He's gonna have an opportunity of attack.
Alright, what's her AC?
Go away. That's 13.
That hits.
Alright. That's his... And he's going to do 8 points of slashing with this. It's this little dwarf with this gray mohawk, and he's going to swipe at Luna as she runs.
For 8 points, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, Luna's not doing so good.
So he sees Luna take off, and he, I'm going to say Axton and Baranor Koza, you can see him start to move in this direction towards Goromir, who is like, he's like, you see him trying to, like, swat at wounds on his neck and stuff, and he's just, see blood kind of gurgling out of him. But it is Simba's turn.
Simba
is just going to stay chomping on this dude who's down.
Okay.
Just gonna eat a snack.
Yeah, I mean, it's turning into a meal. Well, I don't know, 6 seconds, and then another 6 seconds, 12 seconds of chewing. Yeah, he's kind of just working on this mouthful of meat that he's ripped out of this guy's throat.
Lovely.
Would you like him to hold an action or not? He's just gonna use his action to eat.
Yep, he's just chilling.
Right on. All right, Axton, you're up.
I'll use one of my spell slots and use Cure Wounds on him.
Ooh. Oh, okay. You want to go ahead and roll that?
Yeah, I will.
Axton reluctantly heals Goromir.
Goes against his better principles, but...
Well, he is technically family, so...
What do they say? You don't have to love your family or like them. One of those two.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do we have to save that guy? He's kind of a dick.
I don't even have to roll for Cure Wounds. Let me just take a look here. Just like 1d8.
1d8.
It would be great if you rolled all ones on it, so it's like you're
1d8
begrudgingly healing him.
casting ability modifier.
Okay, my spellcasting modifier is what right now?
If you're a cleric, it's wisdom.
1d8 plus 4.
You wise son of a gun.
5 hit
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right, so he's up.
Yes. That was a. I'm only doing this because
You did save him technically.
I only touched him with one finger. That's all.
That was a. I'm only doing this because I have to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You barely healed Goromir. He kind of sits up, his eyes pop open, and he looks up at you, standing over him with this kind of glowish energy erupting from your hand and seeping into his body. And he sits up. He's like, "Axstone saved my life." And he just sort of grabs his swords and unsheathes them and turns and kind of sidles up next to you and whips them around in a flourish and looks like he's ready to dart towards this guy. He is not looking well. Goromir is cut up and still bleeding quite heavily from many wounds, but his pure rage and honor drives him and his muscles into movement, and he darts forward.
And I will continue my move. So let's see. I'll get to here, and I'll go into my tunnel defense.
Goromir takes an opportunity attack. No, I'm just kidding.
Some bitch!
Some bitch.
You motherfucker.
Should have known.
Never turn your back on an enemy. Okay. We're going to add him.
We get sudden betrayal.
All right. We're going to add him. Let's have him roll again. That's not bad. Okay. All right. The Black Guards start to really converge, and there we go. Yeah, they really start to converge on everybody's position. You start to see everything sort of like you see the Black Guards starting to hold up their hands as to say, like, calm yourselves, citizens of Dainne. All is well. We have this underhand. Looks like they're starting to really get things under control. These two guys here. Oh, sorry. These two guys here get reduced by one as the Blackguard they're fighting slays one of them and readies an attack and goes to make an opportunity attack against this guy because it looks like he was heading over to where Axton was healing Goromir to maybe intervene. He stabs him on his way out and misses as the dwarf is nimble for his size. Oza, you are next.
All right. Koza sees this guy go over to Goromir and he's just kind of stumbling around. He's just gonna go, not today, motherfucker, and he's gonna move his moonbeam right over him.
Okay.
Can you move it that far?
I can move it 60 feet as an action, and that's only 45 feet.
There's no way it doesn't fit. Yeah, let me see if I can grab it. Ah, yes, I got it. Okay, hold on, I gotta zoom out. On the dwarf?
On the little dwarf.
Okay. Okay, alright. It's gonna take me just a second.
He needs to make a con save.
Okay. Con save. That's a 17.
That passes, but he takes half damage on this.
Yeah, he's hardy, this dwarf.
So 2d10. Stop rolling it twice, Jesus. So he takes 5 points of radiant damage. I'm only clicking it once.
I know, we'll fix it on break or whatever, but don't freak out. You don't need to get mad at the thing. Alright. Plus 6 is 10.
And then for my movement, I'm going to... How far away is that? Okay. I'm gonna go up. Yeah, I'm gonna leave.
Okay.
Koza's out.
Koza's
Peace.
out.
Deuces.
Alright. Goromir is going to meet this guy on the field, and Axton, you see him kind of give you a look over his shoulder, and this very subtle kind of look of surprise, followed by a slight nod of respect, just a quick nod, turns his head and dives into this dwarf with his short sword and his dagger and just starts chopping him to pieces, while the dwarf is being baked alive by this moonbeam that's just, cascading down above him. He's going to make 2 attacks. They're both going to be hits. So yeah, he sinks these swords, chink, chink, into this dwarf and twists them around and makes this gnarly, horrid cut wound in his chest, almost in the shape of an S. And while he's doing that, Giovanni, you find yourself on the field, surrounded not really by enemies at this moment. It's your turn.
It is my turn. All right.
On deck.
Let's see. That big Minotaur still surrounded by baddies?
Yes, he is. Oh, sorry. I meant to make this guy. This guy came up here and started fighting too. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Distance-wise, what have I got? Can't make it that far. Oh man, heck, I couldn't get this far. All right. And then I got this. All right, so I am going to take my movement to come down this way. And then with my Buster Sword, I'm gonna take a couple of swats at this guy with advantage because I'm flanking.
Okay.
23.
Yeah, that hits.
For 8 points.
8 points.
Plus a Divine Smite at second level.
Ooh, a rage-filled smite.
So that's going to be 3d8. Grab that. Plus an additional 18 radiant damage from my Divine Smite.
Okay, so Giovanni, are you using your Buster Sword?
Yes, the sword and shield have been left. I just took off running.
All right, so the Minotaur is assisted by the Blackguard, and looks like the Minotaur, though is bloodied, is swinging this giant sword around him and cleaves this other guy in half. I mean, the field appears to be in hand for the most part, and you take a moment as this dwarf is being bombarded on all sides to ready. You hold your Buster Sword between you, close your eyes, say not even a prayer, but just a quick emotion to the Platinum Dragon, to guide your sword and end this terrible catastrophe that's happened here. And as this happens, you take a moment and notice that this is the result of a cult of this strange black dragon that you've never heard of. The black dragon's total affronts to the Platinum Dragon. You recognize them to be vile and vicious, and these are their servants. So as you bring this sword down on this dwarf that's just being sizzled by moonlight and poked full of holes by the Blackguard and Gormir, how do you want to do this?
Yeah!
I'll come across and just come clean across side to side, just cleave him right through the middle like I've just fallen a tree.
Like a bolt of lightning, literally a bolt of lightning erupts from the sky, reminding you of your father's power, and guides your blade down and splits him like a lightning bolt would strike a tree, and his body just singes on both sides of this wound, and he splits, and this dwarf just crumples into a pile of meat. He moves no more. Pandemonium and utter shock and sadness and horror and anger from the few remaining crowd members kind of consumes you as the Blackguard finally get a handle on the situation. They begin rounding people up and kind of giving them instructions like, you bring those supplies over to these people, and you see kind of the whole situation just sort of coming to a close. The contestants kind of look around and start wiping their blood-soaked weapons on their pants or on passing corpses and sheathing their weapons. You see a couple of the people kind of gather up and talk, like, you hear this chatter, kind of like mixings of, can you believe this, and does this mean it's the end of the tournament, and I got 3, how many did you get, and just like a wide range of conversation as you all kind of gather at the bottom of the tunnel where Koza and the rest of your team had begun to gather. And as you leave, kind of Boromir just sort of catches your arm and you turn and you see him just kind of lean down and sheath both his short sword and his knife into his belt scabbard. You see him just taking this, looks like a pouch out of his satchel on his hip with this salve that he rubs on his skin, and you start to see this pink kind of gel work its way into his wounds and start to heal him. He goes, Axton, might I have a word?
Yeah, sure, whenever you're ready.
And the word is dipshit.
I understand you a little bit better now. You could have let me die. Why did you do that?
Well, I could have let you die, but I've never seen you as an enemy. I've seen you as just as family, someone young, someone stupid.
Harry!
You know, being the head of my house, it's rare for someone to speak so openly and honestly with me. Perhaps a new thing I should welcome. I am sorry for being such a asshole to you when we first met. You must promise to allow me.
I actually have to go for a minute. I have a family emergency. One moment.
Okay, bye, Axton. So you see, as you all kind of pass by, you see Axton and Gormir just sort of chat a little bit. They say a little something between each other, and then Axton joins you in the tunnel.
I am actually going around trying to do what I can as far as with my lay on hands pool to help stabilize, some of the guards, the Minotaur, Sir Thorsten. Retrieve my sword and shield. Or
I'm going to say that you definitely are able to expend. How many points do you have to expend?
Let's see. I believe I have 40.
40. Okay, I'm going to say that you heal up the Minotaur. You give him about 10. He doesn't look like he's dead or close to death. He's pretty torn up. So you give him, we'll say, like 5 or 6, and you sort of spread it out. But by the time you get to Sir Thorsten, who is bleeding out profusely, it looks like they're trying to stabilize him, but he may have gone a little bit beyond the aid that a health potion or something could help with. And by the time you get to Sir Thorsten, your hand, the glow in your hand goes out. And you apparently have used all of your points before you get to him.
I do have a Cure Wounds available. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Cure Wounds. Give him 11.
11. Okay. You pour a Cure Wounds potion into his mouth and
this is his spell.
Oh, spell, sorry. Yeah, you weave this green energy into his flesh, and it looks like it seals it up, but he is still really, he's not conscious. He's still coughing up blood. There's a huge wide, almost 9-inch gash across his chest where Luther's sword literally stabbed him through the ribs. And it's brought him up a little bit, but he's not opening his eyes. He's not making any noise, and they kind of give you a nod like, "Well done," and they continue him through.
I'm going to cast it again. I'm going to cast it again at second level.
Okay, you're going to follow them because they're moving.
Yep.
Okay.
As soon as everyone makes it back into the tunnel,
he gets another 14.
Okay, yeah, you see that wound start to almost looks like the beginnings of a scar, like the blood across it just sort of solidifies, and the skin starts to creep towards itself like this huge wound in his body that is starting to shrink and shrivel up at the edges. And he just kind of looks like he's about to stir awake, but looks like he's definitely stabilized and definitely be brought back, but he is whipped and exhausted and not really speaking to anybody, and they continue to carry him away.
Okay, and I'm going with them.
Okay. Koza, I heard you.
As soon as everyone makes it back into the tunnel, I'm going to use my last second level spell slot to cast Healing Spirit and summon a little chunky boy to kind of go around, give everybody kind of licks on their face, patch them up, kind of make everybody feel good once again, and everybody gets a D6 worth of healing.
All right.
I can do it to 1 plus my spellcasting ability, so I can do it to 4 people. So I'm going to do it to Baranor, Axton, Yuno, and Giovanni.
All right. Giovanni is not with you. He is way up here. Giovanni does not get any of that.
Okay,
Appreciate the offer, though.
then I'm going to do it to myself then.
Okay. Axton, you were speaking to Goromir, and just as it looked like you were more eager to follow your friends than sit there and have a conversation with him. So you basically you were very respectful, and he asked you to come see him at the liaison office to the mercenary bureau within Dainne at some point in the week.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk later.
And he looks pretty hurt. He's looking to go and continue healing himself. He's limping. Koza is offering everybody, what was the spell? D6?
Yeah, 1d6.
1d6 of healing.
So that's 4 for me. It's 4 for Baranor.
You could just
5.
use the same roll for everybody.
Alright, we'll do that. Everybody gets 4 hit points.
Yay!
All right. As you are in the tunnel, which splits off into many different directions, you see what looks like one of Dalkin, the head butler of House Hargrove, one of his kind of underlings, sort of approaching you with this wild-eyed expression on his face. And he looks like he was looking. There was a few people kind of coming in behind you through the tunnel and leaving the arena. There's black guards just kind of checking with everybody, making sure nobody is there that shouldn't be. There's a lot of security right now. You guys are kind of shuffling through. The black guard all recognize you. They let you through. Hope
Oh my goodness.
your chick's okay. That sucks. She won't do that again. Ow. She's alright. The Black Guard are kind of letting you through, and as you're seeing people kind of getting shuffled through this tunnel, which does lead up and outside, it's not like it's a basement that has no exit. You see this underling of Dalkin from House Hargrove approach, and he's looking between people. Looks like he's looking for somebody, and he spots Axton and Koza and Baranor and all of you, and he's like, Crown collectors, you must come. Something's happened at the estate. Once your business is finished here, please, it would do you well to visit the estate as soon as possible.
Has something happened?
From Dalkin. It's better if you just come. And you see him he looks like he's heading up to the booth, where the same direction that you went, Koza, when you went to go sit with the Hargroves, to check on the Hargroves, because they're still up there. And he kind of waves you back in the direction that the estate neighborhood would be past the Coliseum, and he heads upstairs.
I'm gonna follow him.
Okay. He's going upstairs to the Hargroves. Going with him?
Yeah.
Alright, what is everybody else doing?
Well, like I said, I'm accompanying Sir Thorsten, and then once that I'm assured that he's, well stabilized and going to get more intense medical treatment, I will go ahead and return back to my father.
Okay. You see Sir Thorsten First of all, your father has shrunk down to humanoid shape by now, and has descended from the stadium through the steps. He is surrounded by Blackguard, and not just Blackguard, but like elite soldiers. There's a couple of full-blooded orcs in this heavy plate mail, and they're all dressed in Blackguard armor, and flanked by, surrounding them are a host of knights of Dainne in shining platinum and bronze armor, and just kind of keeping an eye on everything as the Duke, who is cradling his left shoulder in his arm. There's a huge sash draped across. He just kind of looks up, and his amethyst eyes meet yours, and he just gives you a look of both worry, pride, and resolve as you join your family. While that's going on, what is Baranor and Axton doing while Koza follows? You see him follow this guy that told you all that there's something going on at the Hargrove estate. You watch him follow him up the stairs.
Baranor is he's probably gonna follow Koza.
Eno's gonna follow Koza as well.
Okay.
Might as well go with the group.
Okay. I need everybody to make a perception check.
Oh boy.
Except for Ori. For Giovanni.
Perception.
30.
Do it.
Damn.
There we go. That's a 19 for Koza. And oh, that's my bad. A 14 for Baranor.
Okay. The corridors and the stairways they're not packed anymore. It's mostly lined with guards that are sort of spying you all and giving you nods and passing you along. As you reach the top floor where the booth is, you see just like blood sprayed on the floor and scraped blood, like people walked through blood and scraped it on their shoe as they ran out of here as fast as they could. It looks like the Dalkin's underling is in the booth. There's Blackguard in the booth, and it appears that Hargrove's, at least Penelope and Reese, are not there. The elderly Sir Ulysses Hargrove is, and he's being tended to. It doesn't look like there's no blood in this chamber. It doesn't look like any of the assassins made it in here. Maybe they were well protected. And you're assured that Penelope and Reese have joined Thorsten in the Underforge, in the kind of the bottom section of the Colosseum where there are maybe healing facilities or things like that. And you're made aware that both Sir Thorsten, his physician, several healers, and Lady Penelope and young Reese are going to be loaded into a carriage and headed back to the Hargrove estate to undergo Hargrove healing, services, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, what do we do now?
Well, I believe we're supposed to go back to the estate.
No, but long term, what do we do now?
Recuperate. Maybe go after Shekkis.
I don't think that's a good idea right now. She seems way more powerful than we initially thought. The fact that she was that close to us and we didn't know it, that kind of scares me.
Do we really not know it? Or did we just not want to see it?
I don't know. This whole thing kind of has me shaking a little.
As you say that, Koza, you look out over the arena. You're quite high above it now. You're probably a good 50 feet in the air. And just at a sea of bodies and blood and violence, and not just in the arena, in the stands, there are corpses. You look all the way across the arena to the other side and see this enormous green stain with steam still arising from it from when Shekkis used her acid breath on the audience themselves. There are skeletons that are melting. There are guards and what look like magic users that are kind of scanning the area. It is not a good scene, and definitely leaves a bad taste in your mouth. You hear Baranor kind of sort of pull the string on his bow a little bit like a guitar, and he says, "Yeah, this was pretty bad. We should probably head back though." And he's gonna take off.
I'm gonna follow him.
Okay. All right. It's on foot. It's about a 20-minute journey to the Hargrove Estate. Is there anything anybody would like to do on the way? Whether it's, prep anything or use a spell or anything like that. It looks like the streets are kind of in shambles because the Blackguard is filtering out of the arena because the entire city just saw an enormous black dragon erupt from the stadium, fly away, and everyone's like, "There's a dragon in the area! How did it hide?"
You're really broken up.
Yeah, you're garbling.
Sounds like you're talking from across the room.
Okay, how's that?
Better.
That's better.
Okay, I don't know why that keeps happening.
I don't know. Maybe it's the internet, fluctuating.
Yeah, the Blackguard have split into two groups and are trying to, some of them filtered out of the arena to control the crowd who is also in a panic. They just saw a huge black dragon erupt from the stadium and fly away, so there's people kind of running around saying, "Oh, there's a dragon! Get clear, get safe!" And you hear there's town criers, "All is well, the Blackguard have it under control. Dragon seen fleeing the city's city limits." And as you move about the streets, the further away from the stadium you get, sort of panic sort of subsides slightly. So, is there anything anybody would like to do? I don't know if I got an answer to that.
Oza, if it's on the way, might check up at the blacksmith to see how the glaive blade is doing. But if it's not, then don't worry about it.
Yeah, you remember that he said that it would be ready, as you stand now, it will be ready tomorrow.
Okay.
And you would remember that.
I guess this means that we didn't win the free-for-all.
I mean, if we did, it would be kind of bittersweet, but I don't think anybody really won. I mean, how do you tell after that?
Oh well.
You approach the Hargrove Estate, and you manage to get there before Sir Thorsten's carriage. Don't pass it on the street or anything. However, it does kind of remind you that they're going to arrive here soon, and the carriage arrives and is leapt upon by guards and attendants and servants, and you follow Sir Thorsten out of his carriage into the house, and he's pale, he's covered in blood. They're kind of carrying him on what looks like a sling of wood and linen, and they follow him in. The staff of the house, they rush to Sir Thorsten's aid, and as they train their eyes on you, a couple of them, including one of the females that you recognize, the housing staff approaches you, and one of them kind of guides you through the corridors and says, We're so sorry. Jenny found him like that." And they kind of lead you down the hall where you see a couple of Blackguard are actually posted outside one of your rooms. Hello, what do you do?
I'm gonna try to walk in, and if the Blackguard stops me, I'm gonna back off.
You approach, and Baranor is by your side, and they all recognize you. They give you a nod, and they step, and the door is not locked or necessarily closed, but there's about an inch gap where it's not totally closed, not shut, and they just sort of give you entry.
All right, I'm gonna walk in. What do I see?
You swing the door open slowly with a creak, and you see what everybody's been so disturbed about. There on the bed, Kravish's room. See this.
Oh, shit!
Kravish, your silver-scaled dragonborn bard, lays on his back on his bed, his eyes glazed over, flies starting to buzz around his body, impaled on the chest, the dagger getting a black wing to his chest. Next to the dagger is a rolled-up piece of parchment tied with a string.
I'm gonna pull it out and read it.
Okay? This is what you read, if you want to go ahead and read that aloud.
And it's... To the vile crown collectors, I have slain your beloved bard. He died in shock and horror. In the end, he knew it was me. Quite delicious to behold. But my appetite will not be sated so quickly. And so, we have taken the wretched elven monk. When she came to find him, no doubt in hopes to engage in their pathetic romances, she discovered me. She is now with the Black Wing. I have turned your valiant Luther. I have corrupted his valiant heart. He is mine. I will now turn your precious Maven. When we next meet, it will be with her between us. And she will be mine too. Another treasure for my hoard.
And that's where we're going to take a break.
What the fuck?
Fuck, man. God damn it.
Not only Kravish, but Maven's gone too?
We will meet back here at 4:25, everybody. We'll take a 15-minute. And I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
All right. How we doing, folks?
Traumatized.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm here to watch my own funeral.
Right. We're going to pick up where we left off. Giovanni, as you watch Sir Thorsten as well as a retinue of healers get loaded into the carriage that spirited Sir Luther away, or Sir Thorsten away, you hurry back to your father, who was kind of taking residence in his office chambers. He's surrounded by healers who it looks like he's actually extended his wing to kind of splay, not fully grown. Dragons are weird. They have the ability to shrink themselves to humanoid shape, but if need be, they can extend parts of their actual body, and like if they want to extend their arm at full size. He hasn't really extended his injured wing to full size yet, but he's got it splayed out over a table, and it looks like there are healers, clerics and mages applying salves and kind of doing their best to kind of weave healing magic into his shoulder wing. But it's bad. It looks really nasty and gnarly. When he blocked that attack, he took the full force of Shekkis' breath weapon on one wing. So it pretty much dissolved all the webbing in between his spoke-like, finger-like appendages in his wing, and those are slowly being regrown, and he just winces and looks up and sees you enter the chambers. My son. Come.
Father, I look in and just at a look of immediate concern as I see his wing. I was like, by the Platinum Dragon, are you going to be okay?
You see your mother, the dark-skinned human, who approaches. She's not in her usual colorful dress-like garb. Her hair is a little tousled and frazzled. Her makeup is running a little, as it appears she may have been teared up or crying in the recent past.
Mm-hmm.
She puts a hand on the Duke's shoulder, the healthy shoulder, and says, "Your father is strong. He has been through worse. he will pull through. And you see your father just kind of look at his wife and touch her hand on his shoulder with his other hand. Thank you, wife. Giovanni.
Father.
Approach, and you see him just kind of like shoo away the healers as he drapes his wing over his shoulder like a cape behind him. You notice that it is slowly closing. The wound is being sealed and magically healed very slowly. Some of this, knowing your father for the magical creature that he is probably natural healing on his part, in conjunction with magical healing from the... They all get shooed away, and he folds his wing over what looks like a map of Valandiir, and really about 200 to 300 miles surrounding Dainne, as Dainne is the middle of this map. Did you see which way she went?
Yes, she went toward the player to GM that was the southeast, correct?
That is correct.
All right, so yes, she went towards the southeast. I'm assuming towards their ancestral homeland.
What's out there? It's the Emperor's Highway along the Asping Ridge. And you hear one of the advisors approach. I believe the swamplands line that portion of the mountain ridge. The Colded Sticks, I believe. You see the Duke kind of look between him and look between you. The swamps, eh?
I've heard of that area. Full of criminals and...
Exactly. Who was it that survived the massacre? There was a group of adventurers towards the end that I saw you paired with. Did you catch their names?
Yes, they referred to themselves as the Crown Collectors. I believe you met them at the beginning of the Classic.
Yes, I remember now. And if I remember correctly, came here from the Colded Sticks.
Interesting.
I believe they're staying with the Hargroves. Son, I charge you to fetch them and bring them here.
Will be done. I give a dutiful salute with bob of my head and turn around and head out.
As you turn around, your mother, right before you turn around, she kind of throws her arms around you, and you can feel her tiny little arms kind of clink against your thick armor, and it still feels warm to you. And she just kind of gives you this squeeze that, if she were stronger than you, would definitely feel like a squeeze. But you get the feeling of what she's doing. She plants a shallow kiss on your cheek and lays her hand on your other cheek and just gives you a look that says, be careful. Dangerous times are afoot. Just watch your back.
I will. All right. I kind of extend just a very slight, warmth as far as the nod towards her in response. And then put my game face back on and head on out. Okay.
It doesn't take you too long. I mean, descending from the palace to the Hargrove estate is within, a 20-30 minute walk. And as you approach the Hargroves, you are challenged by the guards.
Yeah, I'm taking a horse.
Yeah. Like navigating the streets, especially now, there's a lot of hubbub in the streets. There's the energy is concurrent with a dragon having escaped the arena recently. So you're kind of
All right. So as the guards approach, and it's like, it is I, Lord Giovanni Corvino, son of the Duke of Dainne. I am here to send a message from the Duke himself to those who refer to themselves as the Crown Collectors. Are they here?
The guards look at each other for a split second. They're like, yes, they are. Lord Corvino, please enter the estate. And you see that, open the gate. And they split this wrought iron gate and wood, and it parts way for you. And there's about, it looks like 6 or 7 guards both Blackguard and Personal Guard that wear the Hargrove crest on their chest plate, kind of lining the driveway that leads up to the estate. And there is it's kind of a somber mood. As you approach, you pass by the carriage that carried away Sir Thorsten, and you see a trail of blood kind of leading out of it into the front door. And you're approached by the major domo, a short, kind of elderly human with kind of a gray ponytail. Knight of the Realm, what can I do for you?
I'm Lord Giovanni Corvino, son of the Duke of Day. I'm here to deliver a message to those called the Crown Collectors. Are they here? If so, I would ask for your permission to enter the premises to talk to them.
Yes, of course. Well, it's sticky business, that. It appears that someone violated the sanctity of the Hargrove estate and murdered one of the Crown Collectors. I believe it was their silver dragonborn bard. They are down the hall and around the corner. Also appears perhaps there may have been a kidnapping. So, Mary, and you see this passing maid kind of turn around. Yes, Tolkien. Please inform the Crown Collectors they have a visitor. Yes, sir. Right this way, please. And she leads you down the hall.
Before I leave, I turn to Dalkin and go, on behalf of His Lordship the Duke, we extend our sympathies for the tragedies that have befallen your house as of late.
Well, thank you, Lord Corvino.
And then I'll turn and follow them.
You see him kind of turn the other way and hurry down a hall towards where there's a lot of activity. You imagine this is probably where Sir Thorsten was taken, down the hall somewhere. You approach the hall. It's not a super wide hallway. It's about 7 feet wide, and it is packed with people. You see the members of the Crown Collectors that you encountered in the arena. Kind of looks like one of them's halfway in the doorway, a half-elf with holding what looks like a letter in his hand. And there's the large Furbolg druid and the wizard and the human with covered in armor and weapons, and they just all kind of seem to be sort of taking all of this in. Inside the room, you peek your head in, and you see the corpse of a dragonborn with silver scales on the bed, a dagger in his chest. You see the half-elf ranger kind of grasp the dagger and pull it out of the dragonborn. The bat wing still stuck to the blade. He takes it and rips it off and throws it to the ground with a disgust in his face. But the blade Ranger holds in his hand, and he wipes it on his pants. And he pulls out another blade, which Koza and Yuno and Axon would recognize as the one he took from the door at the bathhouse. And he puts them both in one hand and looks at them, and he says, I know right where to put these. And he sheathes them in his belt.
Gentlemen, I am to assume that you are the Crown Collectors?
That is correct.
Well met. I am deeply sorry it is under these tragic circumstances. Let me introduce myself. My name is Lord Giovanni Corvino. I am the youngest son of the Duke. I want to extend to you first my thanks for your assistance during the debacle that was the free-for-all, and also to inform you that the Duke has requested your presence at the castle as soon as possible.
Thank you, Lord Corvino. I am Koza, and I'll extend my hand for a handshake.
I'll shake his hand as well. Please, if you gentlemen could please follow me.
Sure thing.
Koza, you do notice that his body is not a fresh kill. Go ahead and make a medicine check.
Okay. One moment. 13.
13. Being kind of new to the world of healing, you have no idea how you would heal this character. I'm gonna have you go ahead and roll a perception check or investigation check for Baranor too. He seems pretty dead, but you do know that there are things that could be done to keep him from rotting.
14 for investigation.
Okay, Baranor discovers that Kravish's ring is still on his finger. However, his flashy rapier is missing. And this is something that you all saw on his hip at all times, so it would definitely be in the room. But he doesn't find it.
They stole his rapier.
You mean that fancy musical one?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking important.
I don't think I can have anything that could possibly help us find that.
Yuno is going to liberate the Ring of Revivify into the pouch of holding.
You know, see Giovanni just sort of stands with his back to the wall, waiting for you to retreat, waiting for you to follow him. Mary, the housemaid that led you here, just kind of looks at you all and says, "What is to be done with his remains?"
Can I make a check to see if I know of what can be done for him?
Yeah, make a religion check.
Not good. 11.
11? I mean, you being a divine follower of your religion, you know that there are various types of healing can be done to, or various types of necromantic power that can be used to affect the will of fate when it comes to a dead body. But you also know that it doesn't take long for decay to set in to where these spells may not have an effect. So, but you have no knowledge.
Gentlemen, while I have no direct knowledge of what can be done to help your friend in this situation, I do know that there are certain necromantic or healing powers that can help not only preserve the body, but also may help revive him from death. But I know nothing further than that. Now, gentlemen, if you please.
One moment, sir. And I'm gonna walk over to Kravish's corpse and begin to cast Gentle Repose.
Gentle Repose. You reach out through the ether, literally, and you can feel this thread that seems like it's tied to Kravish's soul, and it extends out into an infinite gossamer-like space beyond. And that thread is starting to uncoil from his body, and you grab it. As the energy of your magic leaves your fingers into his corpse, you take that thread and wrap it round his body, secure it. That thread doesn't quite slip away. You get the sense that after a little under 2 weeks, that thread will come loose again. You will lose your friend for good. But for now, he appears to be receptive to certain types of resurrection. And you now have 10 days for that will expire, and you'll either have to revive him or cast the spell again. Baranor just kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and he's like, "I don't know what you just did, but it looks like it helped a little." So,
so I'm actually out of second level spell slots, so I'm going to use the third level spell slot.
Fair enough. And Baranor just kind of gives you a nod of respect and looks back at Kravish and kind of looks at you all and follows.
I thought Gentle Repose was a cantrip.
No, it's a second level spell.
Okay.
Thinking to spare the dying.
You're right. There, my bad.
Only works on unconscious people. All right, so Baranor is following Giovanni.
I'll follow suit, but I'm definitely distraught. I'm not very happy with the situation.
It shows your armor is creaky too and has taken significant damage. It's not very comfortable to walk around right now. In fact, on your way back here, you kind of could feel your thigh greaves just sort of cutting into your legs a little bit. And definitely looking forward to taking this off at some point.
As walking through, as I notice Axton's countenance, as we're walking, I'll just stop and I'll put a hand on his shoulder and I'm like, settle yourself, man. If my conversation with the Duke is to be, before coming here, is to be interpreted as true, I believe you will have the chance to exact retribution on who did this to your party. Now let's go.
I move along a little bit faster.
Okay. Koza, you know?
I will follow him.
Follow along.
All right. Heading in the opposite direction of the St. Alisar's Coliseum, you start to hear. Now, it's not midday anymore. It's early evening, supper time. You guys are hungry, but you're still rattled to the point where your appetite is not so easily roused when it comes to being hungry. It's been a really rough day. You guys are tired. You're beaten. You're worn. You're bloody. You're freaked out. You pass by a couple of taverns that the smell of cooking meat delights, but it's not quite enough, and you continue through the streets with about 3 or 4 black guard accompanying you in the vanguard of your marching order. You approach the guards part ways for your retinue without any incident. About, I'd say, 50, 60 feet from the entrance that you see this throne room that you encountered the Duke in before. Giovanni leads you past this room beyond to a side chamber where you see Duke of Dainne, again with his wing kind of splayed out on a table and healing attendants sort of, nursing it. And he sees all of you approach. Giovanni.
Yes. The Crown Collectors, sir, as requested.
Collectors. Well done. So, Crown Collectors, we meet again.
Oh, we do.
It's been too long, good sir.
Too long. Some might say too soon.
As they begin talking, I will just go take my position behind his chair.
Okay. Also see the Duchess kind of sitting a little closer to the Duke than you've seen before, and just kind of not cradling him or patting him with her hand, but just being closer to him.
Mm-hmm.
So, Crown Collectors, what have you to say on all of this? She seemed to address you personally, this dragon that flew through my city. What have you all to say to explain this? A lot of people died here today. A lot of people are going to demand answers.
Well, we have known about this dragon before, but we still thought that they were in the swamp area. We had no idea that they had infiltrated the city.
It's certainly not that they had infiltrated such noble positions.
Infiltrated. Noble positions. She married a bloody knight of the realm. And you see him kind of arc at one of his advisors. Sir Luther was one of our finest warriors. How was this woman not properly vetted? And you see them kind of look at each other and look at the Duke kind of, Sir, he was a woman he encountered on the road in his patrols of the southern Valandiir wilds. She presented herself as a foreigner. No one had any real reason to doubt her story. It was very believable. And you see a couple of them like murmuring like, no, not my fault. I'm sorry, but it's not my fault kind of a thing. You see the Duke just sort of slump and he looks at his shoulder and he says, believable. Well, it appears I must reevaluate my intelligence network's ability to snuff out spies and monsters. But this is not the fault of the Crown Collectors. Although, I do understand that it was you who came from the Coated Sticks before you came here.
That is correct.
Well, the free-for-all is for naught. Calling it the Ellington Massacre in the streets. A legacy as Duke of this fine city. I shall not have it end by this dragon's wrath. I'm sorry you were all robbed of your reward to the Classic's conclusion. I'm glad you were there. Fear many more died. Else. Will just tell me the last of them heard from the arena.
You're garbling again.
You're garbled again. You're across the room.
Okay, how about now?
That's a little better.
A little better?
A little bit.
How about now?
Nope.
You hear me?
You're like cutting in and out.
No. Well,
You're good now.
did you hear about the Classic?
What about it?
What they're calling it?
Yes.
Okay. In any event, it pains me that you were robbed of your reward, or that any of you were, so I aim to make it up to you. How much was the reward for the final placement of the free-for-all? And you see one of or two of the advisors just kind of looking at each other like, sure, a Duke. And many of you remember?
It was 1,000 gold pieces, I believe. 5,000 gold pieces.
You see the Duke kind of snap his gaze to, 5,000 gold, you say? I hereby institute a realm-wide reward for the head of that dragon. 10,000 gold pieces. Any bring us a corpse or proof of a corpse.
I mean, you could just give us 5 now, and then just make the bounty 5, and we would be good.
But I won't. Bring me the head of this beast. I will make you rich. Justice of Dainne deserves nothing less. Giovanni,
Father,
go with them. Ensure the deed is done.
I will do as you command.
And you see the Duke just kind of give you a nod, and you're not alone in this chamber. There are quite a few people in here, and a few of the people are armored like you and look sweaty and bloody like you. Perhaps they were in the fight. They just kind of whisper to each other and look at you, and they kind of nod at the Duke, and they take off. They leave. As it seems the Duke here has made an open invitation for this challenge. So yeah, Giovanni, this tall paladin approaches all of you, and you kind of have your run of the place right now. Well, what do you wish to do based on what has happened so far?
I'm leaving it open to them right now to see what they wish to do.
Well, I don't know about everybody else, but I would definitely like some revenge for this deed done to us. Plus, we definitely need to go get Maven as soon as possible.
Maven? Who is this Maven?
One of our compatriots.
Yes.
Who is this Maven?
She's a friend. She's been kidnapped by the same beast.
Was this Maven a member of the Crown Collectors?
She was. Still is.
Well, gentlemen, I would suggest that you get some rest, get some healing, some refreshment. The facilities of the palace are at your disposal for this night, and we shall leave in the morning to head towards the Calden Sticks.
I agree.
If you need to get anything from the Thorsten estate, for the Hargrove estate rather, please just talk to dude over there, and he'll make the arrangements.
I'm going to go talk to him about having Simba returned back to House Cerulean.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that can be arranged. If you wish to bring the lion to the teleportation center yourself, or have someone escort it, go ahead and make an animal handling check, just to see if you can convince Simba to not kill this guy on his way through the streets.
17.
17? Yeah, that's enough. Simba just kind of looks up at you with his blue eyes and looks at the attendant, and you hear him kind of growl. He's a young lion. He's not fully matured, so he's kind of got a little spunk in his step, and you see him kind of like kind of growl at the guy, just give him a little scare, and then just kind of look at you like, oh, that was pretty funny. And yeah, he takes him down the hall.
What time of day is it?
It's about 4 to 5 p.m.
Okay. At some point before we depart for the Calden Sticks, I'm gonna go towards the blacksmith shop and find the nearest suitable tree and kind of spend some time with it and establish like a portal point so that I can come back to it later.
So you want to go by the blacksmith shop and look for a tree?
If that's even possible.
Yeah, there's no trees like that in the city, certainly none wide enough to do what you want. You would have to go into the wilds to find a tree, but you already know of a tree on the outskirts of the city that's not too far away, because Dainne does butt up against a forest that sort of hugs the grasping ridge on its northeast side. You do have a tree picked out there already.
Okay.
You've done that.
I'm going to talk to the same person about retrieving my items from my room and make sure that my gear is all brought over and the armor that I've been working on.
Your armor will not be ready until tomorrow.
Well, I'm working on it myself, so...
Right. I'm saying it's not going to be done. It's
not
finished yet.
I knew that. Yeah. I still have several rolls to make on it.
Okay. Does anybody else wish to do anything?
No, I'm good. I'll get my stuff ready first thing in the morning. Just gonna eat, rest, pray.
So Kravish is not decaying, right? Because of gentle repose?
Correct.
For 10 days.
I'm going to shove him in the bag of holding.
Okay. It's going to take you going back to the estate, which, it'd take you all of, hour and a half. But unless there's anything else you guys wanted to do this night, you could spend the night here. You could go back to the Hargrove estate. Hargrove estate's a little busy, and we'll say that this is something that you definitely notice on your way back, that the premises are being well guarded and well watched, and even you being well known amongst the staff, the guards are still very wary of anybody entering the premises. You approach Kravish's room. There are still maids kind of cleaning the place. There's blood that's kind of seeped from his wounds all on the floor. They're scrubbing, and they kind of watch you kind of lay over his body and open the sack that you have, and gently and respectfully kind of fold his arms over his chest, close his eyes, and as neatly as possible shove him into this bag. And you do it as quickly as you can. It's a difficult task, both physically and emotionally. And you cinch the bag closed as fast as you can. And you make your way back to the palace. It's kind of a dark day. There's not a lot of smiling faces. As people kind of news of this attack has begun to spread throughout the city, and there's a lot more black guard and patrolling the streets, and the castle itself is very well defended and guarded. There are enormous regiments that kind of patrol the driveway and the lawn of the palace as you approach and are finally granted entry. It does take you a minute to get back in. Even though they just saw you, everyone's on edge, and everyone is not eager to just let people walk around freely. Your belongings are brought to you. There are quarters laid out, and I would say they're probably on par, if not a little less than what you experienced at the Hargrove, because the Hargroves had, every room was kind of a nice guest room, and these seem like dignitary guest rooms, or perhaps rooms for lesser dignitaries. So, they're fine. It's certainly better than the taverns and inns that you've slept in before. But you peel your armor off your bodies and your robes and just sort of in your own individual rooms, which I'm going to have Baranor go ahead and have Luna post up outside of his room. And he just kind of whispers to all you, he's like, I don't want anybody breaking in my room and stabbing me in my sleep. I suggest you guys kind of arrange something similar. And you just sort of hop down on your seats at the ends of your bed, and your hands in your head in your hands, sort of staring at your feet, sort of thinking about what the fuck just happened. Eventually you crawl into bed as the moon starts to rise and the sky darkens.
I'm gonna cast
each of you.
Alarm and Tiny Hut.
Okay. You are well protected under your hut, your dome, and not looking forward to sleep for what the dreams may bring. Close your eyes. The crispness of the air is the last thing you remember as the night takes you to sleep. Koza, you do not have a vision of the Moonweaver. You don't even have a vision of this weird, six-eyed, enormous bison-like creature that's been haunting your dreams. Your dreams are filled with the green eyes of Shekkis. A harrowed and agonizing scream from beyond. From many different voices, male, female, young, old. Thousands of voices cry in pain and despair. Just the green eyes oversees it all with this low, rumbling cackle. You all awaken, fully rested, with the benefits of a long rest and a new level.
Oh my god.
I'll let you guys
Does that go for me
definitely
as
go
well?
over. No, you can stay right where you're at.
Yeah, I did it as much. I just wanted to.
But you feel rejuvenated as the healing salves and the potions and the spells that you've received over the earlier in the last day fully take effect and really soak into your bones. And you find yourselves rising with a renewed vigor and resolve. Day is yours. What would you all like to do?
All right, so as the morning begins, I'm rested. I am beginning the task of equipping myself, equipping my horse for travel. Are any guards going with us, or is it just the core group?
No, the Duke charged you with this task, and is you know your father. You understand his tactics. If anything, he's using you and this party as a scouting party to definitely get the lay of the land and find out more. You know, he sent you away to kill and bring home the corpse of this dragon. That was said with an emotional tinge to it. He definitely wants you to gather information and move on from there.
Okay.
But you will be going alone.
Okay. Got it.
Anybody else?
I don't know if we have time to finish any equipment that I have, or if I'm just gonna store it or take it with me.
I mean, you do know that your armor is ready. Koza, your moon crescent blade is also finished.
Alright, then I'm gonna go.
Today
grab
would have
it.
been the day. Yeah, today would have been the day that you were going to go pick all that up.
All right, gentlemen.
And what did you say, Koza?
I'm just gonna go grab my glaive.
Okay. Did you? I can't remember if you paid him. I
paid him half up front, and then I was gonna give him the other half when it was done.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he kind of brings it out. It's this long, kind of 4-foot long package wrapped in burlap, and he places it. This black-haired dwarf. He kind of furrows his real bushy black eyebrows. You almost can't see his eyes from underneath them, but his big, round, bulbous nose and long black beard are kind of covered in soot and little chips of metal. And he brings it out. He lays it down with a tink on the anvil and unfurls it. And it's a simple shape, a crescent moon. But he took the time to, with the additional funds that you had given him, he carved a small star on the inside curve, kind of like where the top of the blade would be. And he kind of looks at it with pride, thanks you for your coin, and hands it to you.
Perfect. I love it.
It is brilliantly shiny. Shinier than steel, way shinier than platinum. It has a luster to it, the likes of which you've never seen, only dreamed of. Being made of the almost supernatural metal known as mithril, it shines like it is absorbing all of the light around it and reflecting it tenfold. Doesn't look like fingerprints have any bearing on this thing. It doesn't look like, you're kind of rubbing your hand across it. It doesn't leave a streak or anything. It's just incredibly resilient to scuffs or anything like that. It's beautiful.
Well, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to put it on the ground in front of me. I'm gonna walk outside and put it on some grass, and I'm going to use Druidcraft to form a about 6-foot handle for it.
Do you need plants? There's no grass. You're in the middle of a city street. Do you need plants to be there?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're in the middle of a big giant city street.
I can instantly make a flower bloom and stuff like that, but I don't need plants.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna place it on the ground and start to Druidcraft a 5-foot handle for it, and the part where the head meets the shaft is gonna be it's gonna like wrap around the headpiece, kind of like Stormbreaker with Groot's arm, and like little branches are gonna start to form and little leaves are gonna grow all over it. And if you guys would give me one moment, I'm finishing up the drawing I'm making for it now.
Oh, well.
I'm picking up my armor as well. What would be the name of my armor?
It's Palladium Full Plate. And you can do it, or I can do it. We can put that in the chat, what that looks like as well.
Sure, you can go ahead.
Okay.
And then I have a question. Do you need any armor proficiencies to wear a shield? Or is that just something... Oh, general.
Yeah, I think so.
It doesn't say on the actual shield thing that you require any sort of proficiency with it. Just as the shield is made from wood or metal and is carried in one hand, wearing a shield increases your armor by 2. You can only benefit from one shield at a time.
Well, on my character sheet, it says that it is a proficiency. Because I can be proficient with simple, martial, and shield.
It says you must be proficient with a shield in order to use it, especially a spellcaster. The only way, this is coming from D&D Beyond, the only way for a wizard to gain shield proficiency are either multi-classing or the moderately armored feat. Since moderately armored requires you to be proficient in light armor, most wizards will need either a multi-class or another feat. So yeah. Alright. Nope. This is what Axton's armor looks like. Yeah, you arrive and you arrive at Maggie's shop and she has the armor that you two have been kind of working on together. It looks like she's kind of doing some of the mundane work, like, riveting some of the arm pieces together, and she kind of hands you a hammer, and there's only a little bit of work left to do, not much. It's not going to hold up your whole day. So go ahead and give me another blacksmithing check. And you can roll with advantage. She is helpful.
There we go.
22. Yeah, I mean, the last little tink with the hammer, you're able to fold over one of the flaps of this metal to fit perfectly at the bottom of one of the greaves. And she just kind of looks at it and she's like, looks great. And she kind of like stands up and dusts her legs off as she was kind of kneeling on a stump while she was working. Let's try it on, shall we?
That's a pretty sweet glaive. Yeah, I try it on.
Cool. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. It takes you about 10 minutes, but, it's still early in the morning, and there's no rush, per se. And with a few adjustments, she replaces one of the belts for something that'll fit you a little better across the chest. Tightening the kind of, there's like this red leather skirt that kind of surrounds the midriff and hangs below the back of your knees. And all of your scabbards and your holsters for your weapons, they fit nice. She kind of helps you kind of adjust them into place, and she kind of installs this nifty little quick release at the back that makes it a little easier to remove the chest plate. So what I'm going to say is that while it's going to still take you the same amount of time to get in and out of this, you don't need help.
Perfect.
So she kind of, installed these little clasps and stuff that you can kind of grab with one hand.
That use all my Placium ingots?
Oh, yeah.
I'll take that off. And so what are the stats of this armor, if anything?
Okay. It doesn't have any AC stats per se.
Mm-hmm.
However, where was I? There we go. Palladium full plate. This unique set of full plate armor is made using a rare mineral alloy known as palladium. On its own, it assumes the qualities and stats of a typical steel set of full plate armor with the following exceptions. It weighs only 70% of its steel counterpart. Its value adds 30% to any set of full plate. And the metal of this set is particularly receptive to armor-based enchantments, rendering a 50% cost benefit to any enchantment services. The natural reflective nature of palladium gives the bearer of this armor a 20% chance to reflect all lightning-based attacks, both natural and magical. And it's real pretty.
Well, so in the future, if I want to get it enchanted, it costs a lot less.
Yeah, by half.
Nice. Okay.
It's also pretty light.
Yeah. You said it weighs 70% of the normal counterpart, so...
Uh-huh.
So let's say 50 pounds instead of 65.
Yeah. And if you ever wanted to sell it, you could negotiate and add 30% to whatever the value of a steel full plate set would be.
Well, it's 1,500 is a normal full plate. Now, would anybody be willing to buy my previous piece-mailed plate?
She will give you money for scrap. Yeah, it's your armor is not. It's not slapdash per se, but it has been heavily damaged and heavily repaired, and it was kind of ramshackled between two different sets of armor.
It was, yeah.
And it's not in the best shape. She said she'll give you 100 gold for it, but that's being very generous.
Well, I'm keeping the dragon helmet that I've been wearing with it, so.
Right.
Yeah, 100 is fine.
Okay. Well, you look great, and good luck to you, Axton.
Thank you. I head back on to the troops.
Okay. You see Baranor kind of milling about the palace halls where it appears Giovanni is pacing. Is everything all right? Is everybody ready?
Yep.
He says this to Giovanni. Corey, you're muted.
Whoopsie doodle. Yeah, I'm ready. I see you have a very fine wagon here. Shall we?
Baranor hops on board. You
Let's
see
go.
him kind of he
Load
looks
up the
kind of
bucket.
concerned. All right, so what's the plan?
Plan is to start heading out towards the Calded Sticks.
All right.
As we begin to travel, I will start casually asking questions, trying to get the idea of what was their experience like there in the Calded Sticks. What information have they already gathered regarding this Black Wing organization?
Baranor kind of steps up and he's like, well, I think I joined the group, me and Maven, after they had gotten out of there. So I don't really know much about what went on. What did happen to you guys out there before I joined up with you?
Anyone? Bueller?
Sorry, what was the question?
Baranor kind of looks around at you all and says, yeah, I joined after you guys got out of the Calded Sticks. What happened to you? What happened to you all in that swamp? I don't think we ever really talked about it too much.
Oh god, I'm the worst one to ask about that.
I remember us speaking to a pretty formidable spirit or hag of that region.
Yes, it definitely was a hag. 'Cause I remember getting this weapon. This is my halberd that she made.
She gave us some information about Shekkis.
Wasn't there a small town we went through that seemed like there was...
I think that was Rathburn.
Rathburn. Yeah. We give them the rundown of everything that happened, and, that we were kind of chased out of town.
Yeah, I've been chased out of town before too, so never ran into a swamp. But to each their own, So where should we start? What do you think?
Well, we should start in Rathburn, then move. Can we get the map back up? So it's the arena.
Yes, sir. You'll give me one little moment. I will do that.
Just, Kravish kept a pretty good journal.
Yeah. Is that? I think that's what you want. Yep. Let me see here. What's behind this? Yeah. And if I remember correctly, I do have this thing laid out with my. Yeah, you can go. You can measure miles and stuff like that. But here's where Rathburn and the Calded Sticks is. Over here. Just above the E in Empire.
So we should start by heading back to Brackenshire. listening. Put some ears to the street, see if anyone's heard anything before settling off. Start in Brackenshire, work our way over to Rathburn. I called it Styx. We're going to want some supplies. Rest up. We have Tree Man who can teleport us. Brackenshire. The tree.
No. You know that area better than I do, so I will have to defer to your experience.
I will start to open up a portal to Brackenshire.
Okay. You guys make your way out of the city of Dainne to a forested region to the northeast gate. It's not heavily forested, but there are some larger trees with a trunk width of about 5 to 6 feet. The cart has some trouble getting through, but as you open this portal and the tree trunk glows green and spreads wide with these vines and leaves exploding out from it, you have your short amount of time to enter into this tree portal, and you do so as quickly as possible. You feel yourselves rushed forward, and almost like the smell of wood and ancient roots and earth kind of whip by your face as the wind blows your hair back, and you find yourselves instantly land in the tree, or the space around a tree just beyond the walls of the industrious city of Brackenshire. The stacks above the buildings pump black smoke high into the sky. The air here smells a little sootier and a little more like sulfur as the familiar smell of industry returns to your nostrils. It is about the same temperature here, if not a little cooler, although it looks like it recently rained as the ground is rather muddy. And you find yourselves before the gates.
Ugh. We're going to find useful information here? Looks like the only fine thing we'll find here is tuberculosis.
Well, we have to start somewhere, and I guess this is as good as any place. Not to mention we're much closer to where we were before.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, I will say you can definitely tell that you are a day's ride. Yeah, you're about 24 miles away from Rathburn, at least. Maybe, I don't know, 15 miles away from the edge of the Calded Styx itself. Yeah, you find yourselves at the gate. What do you guys wish to do?
All right, well, I guess we will get in the queue to gain entry to the city.
I mean, there's no line. There's people moving in and out. The main thoroughfare of Dainne is of Brackenshire is well-traveled, but not congested. You're able to move through the city streets with relative ease. It's a little slow the further into the city you get. I will, let me see here. Is it in my pinned messages? Nope.
It's in mine as far as the map of Brackenshire.
It's, sorry?
I said in my pinned messages, the map of Brackenshire is there.
Oh, cool. Oh, I think I found it too. Oh, nope, I don't have it. If you would like to post it, oh yeah, I do. You can post it or I can post it, I don't care. You guys approach from the west side of it, which is the Rust Quarter, the rather poor section of town.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, I would like to have Yuno, Koza, and how is Giovanni's passive wisdom?
Passive wisdom.
Oh boy. That's a good question.
Passive perception is 14.
13.
13. How is Yuno's?
17.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that acts in both. As you're traveling through the streets, in this cart. Several of you on your horses. You do see something that you recognize, and that is a fleur-de-lis carved into the wood of a post. And you recognize that as the symbol of the Marquis. It's just under what looks like a posted sign. And you really wouldn't notice it unless you were looking for it, but you guys are both particularly perceptive, and you do pick up on this. And it just kind of reminds you, like, oh yeah, this is the Marquis city.
Well, maybe the Marquis might be somebody that we could talk with and get information from.
I mean, it's a start.
Does anybody remember where the dragon's lair could possibly be? I remember the hag did tell us.
She told us southwest up against the mountain, but it could be massive. We don't have...
Well, my notes say, although I don't know how I could relay that to you in game without being meta.
It's okay, I'll allow it. They're thinking amongst themselves and talking. It's fine.
Sure.
We're looking through your notes and everything, going through your line.
To the base of the Grasping Ridge Mountains in the northeast section of the Calden Sticks.
Okay, to northeast. Maybe up around here somewhere, or around here. Well, let's make our way to the Marquis. That'd probably be best. Talk to some people.
All right. You arrive at the, if I remember correctly, the dustbin that was in Dainne. I think it was like the sweeping broom or the broom and bristle.
Broom and bristle.
Yeah.
And it is vacant. It is empty. And I will have everybody except, everybody except Giovanni make a history check. The door is closed, and even with Baranor's attempt to pick the lock, it is, wow, did you get a 1 in your history?
Yes, I did. Or no,
Jeez.
I got a 3.
You got a 3, okay.
Why is Baranor rolling with advantage?
Baranor would not know this. He was not. Well, no, that's not true. Baranor knows where it is, but he wouldn't be able to roll this because he wasn't here when this happened.
Okay.
But you'll remember that when you guys were cast out of Brackenshire, the Marquis did make it very clear that he thought they knew where he was and that he would be vacating this establishment. So he's not here anymore.
So, gentlemen, where's this informant?
It seems that he may have packed up and left.
Well, you hear Baranor kind of looking around the empty room. There's dust, but not a lot of it. Looks like it was fairly recent, maybe within the last few weeks. People were in here. I know that if ever I got separated and I needed to contact Jen or the Marquis, that there was always a way to contact them through symbols on the notice board posts. I could try that. Maybe scare up some attention.
Better than nothing.
All right. And you see him, he kind of ducks into a, well, first we'll say, why don't we establish some kind of base of operations here? Do you guys want to go to a tavern or an inn or something, or?
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay. Anybody else want to grab anything or need anything before we head somewhere?
No, I'm good.
All right. I know a good place. It's in the it's in Hammertop, which is kind of the commerce area. It's where things are. You got your blacksmiths, you got your craftsmen, your tailors. There's a little place over there that sometimes I stay at when I'm here. It's called the Bushy Bed. And there's a young man there that I may have helped out of a jam. He knows me. We get along well. We'll do okay over there. What do you think? You want to head over?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Show us the way.
Okay, I mean, he directs you through the streets. Brackenshire is certainly not as pleasant as Dainne visually. The streets seem to be perpetually dirty everywhere. As you traverse through the Rust Quarter, you notice that the Brackenshire has a significantly more dense, kind of poor section to it. And, it's called the Rust Quarter for a reason. All the shacks and buildings here all have this element of rusty, kind of tin roof, ramshackle shack kind of a, slum look to it. And weaving through the streets can be a little bit harrowing with your cart. But you finally do manage to settle into the main... This huge main roadway that leads from the southern gate, which is the city's main gate, up through to the respite ward, which leads to Brightstone, the city center. Crossing over this large roadway and into the neighborhood of Hammertop, he leads you to a 2-story inn that looks like it's between a kind of a storage facility with like a large barn door with Samson written across the top. There's some links of metal sort of leaning against the wall on this building, and on the other side it looks like there may be some kind of a cafe or a restaurant of sorts. And you just see you don't see a sign, but above the threshold you just see BB. He's like, oh, this is the place. We can probably bring the cart and the horses to the stables down the road. So,
all right.
Giovanni has a horse. Yuno has a horse. Who else has a horse? Cozy,
I have a horse.
Of course.
Got a horse. Yeah.
No, I think my horse is dead.
Oh, I think Baranor has a horse.
Yeah.
Was that 5?
I think so.
Okay. And a cart. Let's see here. How much does that cost? Okay. It is going to be 1 gold per horse per day, and 3 gold to store the cart.
We have party funds for that, don't we?
Mm-hmm. You should.
Yeah, the party fund will cover that. No worries.
Okay.
All right. I will, if you want, because, I'm not an accountant, but you should pay for stuff. I'll send you how much that'll amount to once all of this is all finished. Not going to nickel and dime you now.
All right.
He is going to secure you. Do you guys want to bunk up, or does everybody want their own room? Looks like they have at least 5.
I could care either way.
Bunk up, not for cheapness, but for security.
Yeah, protection.
Yeah.
Seems like the Black Wing has it out for us, so.
Well, I will say that it's only 2 gold for a room for the night. You could get 1 room, and you all definitely will fit inside of it if you used your hut. It's not a problem.
That is the plan, Stan.
All right. So Baranor just kind of stows his gear in the room and kind of picks a corner. You see Luna kind of pacing. She doesn't like it here. She kind of whines a little bit, and Baranor just kind of shushes her and taps his hand on the back of her head and ruffles her hair a little bit. And Luna just kind of looks like she's obsessed with kind of looking outside the window at the streets below and just keeping an eye on things. But with Baranor stowing his stuff, you guys all kind of find a little corner to keep your things. It at this point is getting to be about midday. You guys did warp here. It's not terribly late in the day right now. But kind of walking around the city and kind of taking in the place a little bit more and kind of revisiting sites. It's got to be about midday to 1 o'clock.
Has Baron already gone out to try to put some messages out?
Yeah, he left for about 20, 30 minutes and came back and tells you that he kind of made a carving on one of the posts, and making a carving like the one that he did it's kind of like an emergency. Like, people don't just go around carving on posts, because then there would just be graffiti everywhere and they would have to replace the posts and be good. So to do this is kind of a desperate move. So he assures you that we should definitely hear back from Order within the day, or if not tomorrow. Is there anything anybody else thinks we should do?
I would like to head over to the Chief of the Watch, or as well as to the is there a temple to the Platinum Dragon in this city?
There is not. Brackenshire is not a super religious place. This is a city of industry. Now, you're the Duke's son of Dainne. It's not that you've never been to Brackenshire. You don't go very often, but you definitely know the city. It's next door to Dainne. It's around an arm of the Grasping Ridge, sure, but it's not so far away that you're totally unfamiliar with it. But you do know that it's difficult to find an established place of worship for the Platinum Dragon. There is a Temple of Pelor here, and there is a Temple of Cord, which is the Storm Lord. He is typically patroned by members of the Imperial Army. So he definitely has being that Brackenshire creates many of the weapons of war and melee weapons and ranged weapons that are used in the Zephan Empire's army and police force, the Black Guard. There is a Temple of Cord, but no Temple of the Platinum Dragon.
Okay. Well, I think I will try to use my time to go to both of those temples, just to speak with one of the priests in charge, just to see what intelligence or what words they have heard about the Black Wing, as well as make an inquiry to the captain of the watch. What is their recent intelligence regarding the Black Wing, if any?
Okay, you can give me an investigation check for each of those places, or a persuasion check, your choice. Give me 3 rolls, however you want to do it.
We'll do persuasion.
All right.
Another charisma-based caster here.
Before you go, I'm going to give you a gift.
Yes.
I've been wearing this for a long time, and for helping out, I'm going to give you this helmet. And I take off my dragon helmet and I give it to you.
Okay. Thank you.
This dragon helmet will give you advantage on persuasion checks or anything charisma based.
Thank you. Your gift is much appreciated.
Does it require attunement?
It does.
Right?
Well, then I will take the time before leaving to attune to it.
Okay. As he hands this helmet to you, it is all platinum. Well, it's not platinum.
No.
But it looks like it's platinum. It's very, very shiny. There are dings and dents and scratches on it. It's not like the crescent blade that you've just seen the druid polishing on his way here. But it is a very nice metal. Its luster is a little more brilliant, a little more mirrored than just simple steel. And you've kind of seen him. You definitely saw him wearing this in the stadium, but you didn't really get a super good look at it. And he took it off as soon as the battle was over. But as he hands this to you, you hold it in your hand and you recognize it. It is a helmet that you have seen in parchment scrolls on historical artifacts before. It doesn't have a name It's just a helmet of the Platinum Dragon, and it is designed when someone wields this helmet, they are able to lead men into battle with a little more vigor and fervor, and to stand before a crowd of people who are unfamiliar with your strategy, you're able to quickly gain them to your side wearing this helmet. And it's got a kind of a really neat. It doesn't have like wings on the side or anything. It's kind of a smooth dome, but it does have kind of a slightly raised engraving of a dragon's head that creeps down the forehead and along the nose guard.
Oh yeah,
and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very nice.
Aesthetic fit your armor because your armor is more bronze, but it's pretty cool.
All right. So I will spend the time to attune to this item. And if either Axton or you, if you could give me the stats so that I can get it into my character sheet. All right then. Well, I'm off I go.
Okay. Let me go ahead and have those persuasion rolls, and you can roll all three of them at advantage. This is something that gives you advantage on persuasion in perpetuity. There's no, it doesn't recharge. You don't have to. Roll to see if it works.
All right. First one for the Temple of Palor. 14.
Yeah. Temple of Palor, they definitely have heard of what, the area of the Calded Sticks. It's even closer than Dainne. It's a place that is often warned against visiting. It's not pleasant. It's not on the Emperor's Highway. It's actually out of the way. If you wanted to get to the Needle or to Dainne, you use the Emperor's Highway. And Brackenshire itself is kind of off the beaten path. Like the Emperor's Highway was built to accommodate Brackenshire, but it swings north and then dips down southwest to get back on the road. The Calded Sticks is even further out of the way. It's a den of thieves, and the priests of Palor at the temple, they don't really have a whole lot of information on the Blackwing, as the Blackwing tends to kind of stay to itself, if that makes sense, in Rathburn. They do send out raiding parties to surrounding villages in Brackenshire, but like very sparsely, no more than any other bandit mercenary group would do.
Okay.
So you don't really learn too much.
Not too much there. Okay. Temple of Cord. 22. All
right. Cord is a war-loving god. It's easy for barbarians and fighters and those such and paladins to fall in line with the teachings of the Stormlord. He loves warfare. He loves honor, and the Blackwing have crossed swords with the paladins of Cord on more than one occasion, and you do glean a significant amount of information. I can send that to you over the next couple of weeks. I'll write a little thing and give that to you, what you glean from them. But you do find out quite a bit about the hierarchy, maybe a little bit about the history, especially the history of the paladins of Cord in their kind of fracas that they have fought against, because the paladins of Cord do patrol west of Brackenshire quite often, so they do sometimes come against the Blackwing's soldiers.
Okay. I will say my thanks, pay an alm, and similar to how I did in the other temple. And now I'll go to the captain of the watch.
All right.
Oof. 9. Crass.
Captain of the Watch actually is not available to speak right now. He is out and about. He's on patrol with a garrison that are working to strengthen the western border of Brackenshire, as news reports of a dragon in the area that attacked Dainne are starting to trickle in from the common rabble as you sort of mingle into the soldiery of the city watch and find your way into the watchtower.
Mm-hmm.
You get the sense that they don't really have a lot of time for you. They're pretty busy right now. It seems like the Lodge, which is the faction of nobles that actually run Brackenshire, as it is a commercial city, but it's also a military city. They are organizing a defensive strategy to kind of make sure the borders of Brackenshire are safe in case there's any kind of fallout from this dragon attack. If it's stirring up trouble, they don't want to see it come anywhere near Brackenshire, especially with you do also hear that there is a threat from the undead to the extreme southeast, as the Needle had been overrun in the last week, and totally wiped out. And so they're kind of scrambled, and their defenses are thin, and they really don't have a lot of time for you.
Very well. I'll try again in another day or two. Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
As you make your way back to the inn, perhaps to grab a meal, it's starting to get a little later in the day. You've spent all day kind of investigating. Is there anything or Koza or Axton would like to do during this time that Giovanni had been spent investigating?
Oh, Yuno's good. He's just going to study a spell book.
Okay. If you have any books that you need to read, I'll give you 3 hours off of it.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Was there anything from you?
I was just gonna look for a woodworker shop.
A woodworker shop? Okay. I mean, it's easy enough to find. You are in Hammertop, the district for craftsmanship. Go ahead and make a investigation check.
I'm a move weaver. Don't fuck me. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too far away. You find a carpentry, little shop, and behind the counter you see this very short halfling man, but he's squat, kind of wide at the hips, with kind of a large blonde chin beard covering kind of a large third chin. Kind of fat. He sort of waddles around the shop. He's got large suspenders that hold up his kind of burlap or woolen pants, cotton shirt, and he looks like he's tapping with this large wooden mallet a chisel that is kind of gliding across a board. It looks like he's just starting on something. He's got a pair of spectacles that he sort of looks at underneath this tousled mop of brown blonde hair on top of his head, and you can see his feet covered in sawdust, his fur just like matted with sawdust as his bare feet lay exposed. And he just kind of sees you kind of walk into a shop, and the smell of woodworking is just a very pleasing aroma to you. It's not wholly familiar. It's not like you're around a lot of carpentry, but just the smell of wood and to get out of the smog is a welcome sight.
I will, knock on whatever surface I have to get their attention.
Yeah, he looks at me. He's like, "Oh, hello. Can I help you?"
Yes, I was wondering if perhaps I could commission you for something.
Sure. Come on in, have a seat. You have anything in mind that you wanted to, right off the top of your head?
Well, this is going to sound rather odd, but do you think you could make me a... Sorry. a wooden suit of armor, like a breastplate, shoulder pads, maybe a shield.
Of armor. You want wooden armor?
Yes.
I mean, I've never done that before. I make tables and chairs and shelves and stuff like that. I've never worked with, riveting with leather. It would require a little bit of metalworking. Tell you what, how soon do you need it?
As soon as is convenient.
Okay, do you have any idea what you want it made out of?
I might be able to provide materials.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll talk to my cousin, Hamish, and I'm Dalen, by the way, and he extends his little tiny halfling hand to you.
I will shake it with my finger and say, I'm Koza.
Nice to meet you, Koza. My cousin Hamish, he works in the smithies down the street. We might be able to come up with something. I need a lot of wood. You're, mind me saying, kind of a big guy.
Don't worry, I get it a lot.
But, wooden armor sounds interesting. I gotta say, I'm very intrigued. I mean, if you could give me at least a day or two to put together some materials, and then maybe we can go over a design, that might give you enough time to come up with the wood yourself. I would recommend a hardwood, maybe an ironwood or an oak or hickory or something like that. Something with some strength, but the flexibility of wood. Yeah, armor. Why did I never think of that before? Yeah, we can do that. That would be great.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Sure. Come on back when you've got the stuff, and we'll get started.
All right. Thank you so much.
Just kind of sees you out and kind of nods to himself, and then you see him just sort of going back to what he was doing.
All right, I will rejoin the group.
As you head back to the room that you've all rented, it's starting to get late. We'll say you've all had a dinner, and it's about the time when you guys kind of tuck in for the night and kind of drain your tankards and push your plates away from you. That's when Baranor approaches. From outside. His hood is down, and he just sort of stops at the edge of the table and pulls his hood down and slides a piece of paper over to the group, and he says, I think we found the marquee.
Oh boy.
And that's where we're going to end the session.
All right, cool.
Alrighty,
folks.
Did you want us to roll our HP, or?
Yeah, you guys, if you want to do hit points here, that would be cool. We can roll them right in the chat. Go ahead and roll your level, if you're taking a level in the same class you're in, or if anybody's multi-classing. Nice.
Max HP.
Max hit points.
come on, let's get me the same luck.
That's my first time getting max.
Ah,
It's not bad. Plus your con.
all right. Oh, sweet.
Yeah, you can actually just click one of your hit dice buttons if you have it there.
Oh, well, perhaps next time.
Yeah.
What'd you
If
get?
there is a next time.
Oh, I also checked to see if I have stats for that platinum dragon helmet, and I do not seem to have it here.
It's real simple. It's just a simple helmet. It doesn't add anything to your AC.
No. But it was anything that's charisma based, you had advantage on. That's all I
Any
need.
charisma based skill.
Any charisma based skill, yeah.
Intimidation, I think.
Yeah, deception
Yeah.
and persuasion.
Perception is wisdom based.
Yeah,
No,
that's what.
persuasion. Persuasion and deception.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, deception. My mistake. All right. Did you go ahead and roll for your new hit points?
I think we lost you now.
Oh, we lost him. That's okay. We can get he can do that later.
We'll figure it out.
I'm gonna have Bogey go ahead and roll for his own hit points for Baranor.
Okay.
And we're looking at the 5th of November as our next session date.
That I may not be available, but I'll check back with you.
Okay. Anybody have any scheduling issues? Obviously, let me know. I know that Stephanie is super looking forward to coming back as soon as possible. Obviously, we don't know when that will be. We're hoping that can happen as long as it works out for her work schedule. And we should have Bogey back next session too. But good job, everybody. Nobody died, I don't think. Not really.
We're unconscious, but that was it.
Nobody, let's say this, nobody who is here right now has died.
Right.
You guys did lose a couple people. One in a bad way, but...
Oh man, I'm still not over that.
Yeah, so is this like a permanent change? Like, are you planning on playing
Are you
this
playing a
paladin?
paladin for now?
I have no idea.
Oh boy. Was it your idea to kill Kravish?
Never my idea to kill Kravish.
That's a fair point.
Who wants to kill Kravish? He's awesome. So...
Oh, somebody
Sorry,
did.
folks.
That just did.
That's because Shekkis is a bitch.
I will say this. I will be uploading an edited version of not last session, but the session before. There was a moment where I had everybody hop off the chat, and I did a little whispers with Kravish. I'm going to edit that video to put that back in, and then in the description of the video, I'll put a timestamp if you don't want to listen to the whole session to get right to that part.
Cool.
All right, folks.
Perfect.
Okie dokie.
All
All
right.
right, guys. This was fun. It was dark. It was weird. It was dangerous, and you guys did great. So I will see you guys all on the 5th.
All
See
right.
ya.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye.